Hey guys, tonight we're not sailing with pirates. No creaking ships, no sea-soaked boots, no sunburnt sailors yelling at seagulls because they started it. Instead, we're setting out on a very different kind of journey. One without waves or storms, but with depth far greater than any ocean on Earth. Tonight, we're drifting into something timeless, luminous, and quietly powerful. The hidden wisdom inside Surah Al-Fatihah, the divine blueprint whispered in only 7 verses, yet deep enough to carry entire lifetimes. But before we step into the sacred stillness of revelation and meaning, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. But only if this kind of calm, reflective, gently spiritual storytelling helps you unwind. If not, that's totally fine. Even scholars spent centuries agreeing, disagreeing, reflecting, and returning again to the same verses, finding new treasures every time. Leave a comment telling me where you're listening from and what time it is for you right now. It's always 2 a.m. somewhere, and if you're here, you're probably trying to fall asleep to something that reminds you that the world is bigger than your problems, softer than your fears, and held, always, by the one who is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. Now dim those lights, switch on a fan for that soft, white noise breeze. Get comfortable. And maybe tuck your feet under a blanket, not because of imaginary rats this time, but because your heart is about to wander through a chapter that millions recite every day, yet few pause long enough to feel. Let's pause together. Have you ever wondered what it really means that the opening of the Quran begins not with rules, not with warnings, but with mercy? A mercy repeated twice before a single command is given. Have you wondered why this surah is called the opening, the cure, the foundation, the great recitation, and even the 7 oft repeated? What does it mean that Muslims recite it at least 17 times a day? Not out of habit, but because without it, the prayer itself is incomplete. What kind of blueprint is hidden inside these lines? Lines that shape belief, polish the heart, and align a person with the one who created every sunrise and every heartbeat. And how does a surah so short contain answers to questions people spend entire lives asking? Who am I? Who is God? What path should I walk? Why does hardship exist? Where do I turn when I'm lost? Tonight we'll drift gently into that meaning, not as scholars, not as theologians, but as tired travelers curling up beside a divine lantern that has guided humanity for centuries. We'll explore how these verses uplift the broken, steady the anxious, comfort the grieving, and refine the proud. How they shape character, guide decisions, and remind every soul, no matter how overwhelmed, that the Lord of all worlds knows them, sees them, and surrounds them with mercy. So take a slow breath in. Let your worries unhook themselves from your thoughts, and imagine you're walking through a quiet night. The world dim and peaceful, the sky soft and endless. And before you, a light begins to rise. Settle in. Close your eyes if you haven't already. And let the story begin. Chapter 1. The Truth That Rewrites a Life. And now, as your breath softens and your thoughts begin to drift into that quiet space between waking and dreaming, let's step gently into something ancient, something whispered, memorized, recited, and lived thousands of years before you ever took your first breath. Picture this, a truth so powerful that it can shift a life in a single moment. Not a truth carved into stone, not a truth hidden behind rituals and secrets, but a truth placed inside 7 short verses. A divine blueprint revealed by the Lord of the worlds and explained, expanded, illuminated by hearts that spent their lives drinking from the well of meaning. A blueprint so simple that a child can memorize it, and yet so deep that the greatest scholars in history never reached the bottom of its ocean. This is Surah Al-Fatihah, the opening, the beginning of beginnings, the doorway to guidance, mercy, connection, humility, purpose, and the clarity your soul has been craving long before you even realized it. Imagine yourself sitting in a quiet room. No distractions, no noise, just soft light and the gentle hum of existence around you. In your hands, the Quran rests, not heavy, but weighted with meaning. You open to those 7 verses, and the world around you shifts. Not dramatically, not like thunder or fire, but like something inside you finally remembering what it always knew. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. The scholars called this the verse that teaches you where every journey begins. Not with your strength, not with your perfection, but with His mercy. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise is for Allah, Lord of all worlds. A reminder that the one who shaped galaxies also shaped your heartbeat. That gratitude isn't something you perform, it's something you return to, like a home you forgot you owned. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Repeated, emphasized, as if the Almighty Himself is saying, don't miss this part. Whatever you think you've done, whatever weight you carry, my mercy wraps around it. Maliki Yawmiddin. Master of the Day of Judgment. A quiet reminder that justice is real, that accountability is real, but so is compassion from the one who knows you better than you know yourself. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Human weakness, not something to hide, but something to anchor to divine strength. A line that turns fear into surrender, and surrender into clarity. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. The scholars said, this is the cry of every soul. Not just saints, not just prophets, everyone. The lost, the unsure, the hopeful, the broken. Because guidance is not a destination, it is a daily gift. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. The path of those upon whom you have bestowed grace. A reminder that you are not the first to walk toward the light, and you will not be the last. Each verse is a lantern, each word a doorway, each recitation a small rebirth, and somewhere deep within you, a shift begins, quiet but unmistakable, as if your heart is being aligned with something vast, ancient, and loving. Because Al-Fatihah is not merely recited, it is lived, it is inhaled, it is a map for destiny, character, inner peace, and outer purpose. A divine architecture woven gently into every prayer, every day, every moment you return to the one who created you. So let your breath soften, let your thoughts quiet, and feel the truth settling into you. You were never lost. You were being guided, one verse at a time. Chapter 2. The Key to the Unseen. Salam alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Tonight, prepare yourselves for a journey that's more curious than your neighbor's cat that thinks it's a lion. Yes, you heard that right. We're plunging into a time where using a sponge for a bath was almost as rare as finding good Wi-Fi in the desert. We're going to unravel the divine secrets tucked away in Surah Al-Fatihah, the opening of the Quran. A chapter so potent it can make a cup of tea feel inadequate in comparison. But first, if you happen to enjoy this bedtime ride through history, or rather if this sleepy storytelling tickles your fancy, please feel free to like, subscribe, and maybe drop a comment. But hey, only if you genuinely find it enjoyable. If not, just keep that to yourself, like your failed attempts at cooking. Now, as you slip into your comfortable cocoon of pillows and blankets, dim the lights, perhaps activate a fan. The desert breeze of the 7th century could really use an upgrade, and settle in. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself there. Did you ever think about what a day in the life of a 7th century Meccan was really like? Do you picture dusty sandals, sprawling dates hanging from palm trees, or the intoxicating aroma of spices sizzling in clay pots. And if you ever wondered how difficult it must have been to keep a secret in a village with an active gossip network, you might as well sign petitions to keep your business under wraps. Congratulations! You've just woken up in 610 CE, the year where even your morning coffee might throw shade at you for wanting it so much. Welcome to Mecca, a bustling hub of trade and culture. Here, we find the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a figure whose life's work would reshape history. You're standing at the base of the majestic Kaaba, witnessing the swirl of people amidst merchants hawking everything from silk to spicy lentils, basically the Amazon of ancient Arabia, just without the hassle of returns. The atmosphere is electric, buzzing like every smartphone on low battery mode. Let's talk about an average day. Picture this. It's Saturday, or as close to one as it gets in ancient Mecca. The sun rises, casting a warm glow over cobbled streets. As you stroll along, you might stumble across a vendor offering fresh figs more succulent than a summer romance. Or perhaps you'd prefer some of that sweet honey that seems to be the ancient equivalent of liquid gold. Did it occur to you that honey and olive oil could easily have been the original skinny latte for the locals? Next, let's discuss daily prayers. I mean, ever tried to perform 5 prayers with a bustling market around you? Talk about distractions. You'd be trying to focus on your spiritual journey while dodging the rolls of fabric that poor Ali accidentally knocked over as he was trying to haggle for a leather wallet. Priorities, right? You might even encounter the occasional grumpy merchant, grumbling about competition while soaking up the ancient wisdom of the Prophet, who kept talking about compassion and community, concepts that surely perplexed at least a few of the more money-minded traders. Imagine the irony as they bath-headedly barter over prices for barley while grappling with deep thoughts about the collective good. Makes your attempts to decide between Netflix shows look simple, doesn't it? As curiosity and a sense of camaraderie swirl around, it's essential to understand that everything, each interaction, every challenge, is wrapped in a divine blueprint. So now, let's talk about this divine key, the magnificent Surah Al-Fatihah. This opening chapter is nothing short of a treasure. It's more valuable than gold-encrusted iPads in the grand halls of the modern tech titans. Surah Al-Fatihah is like that first sip of water after a long desert walk. It rejuvenates, connects, and opens the gates of communication between you and the Creator. It's the good morning text that always puts a smile on your face. No, not that one from Jerry who borrows your DVDs and never returns them. It's the pivotal opening that brings the entire structure of worship to life, like the first piece of a kid's Lego masterpiece. In fact, every time you recite it, you're finding yourself holding an ancient key that unlocks realms of wisdom. Can you imagine? Just by uttering its words, you're engaged in innumerable discussions with the divine. It speaks about guidance, praise, and humility. Picture yourself at a cosmic dinner table, where every dish is a morsel of wisdom, and you're invited to partake while your blind date raves about their pet iguana. Quite a lively affair. And finally, as day fades into night and the stars start twinkling overhead, you might find your mind wandering a little. The moon hangs above like a giant silver coin. Does it ever make you wonder if it has stories of its own? Perhaps of lost travelers or hidden knowledge? Just like Surah Al-Fatihah holds unfathomable depths, the universe around you is filled with wonders waiting to be unlocked. Those treasures of wisdom are just like the soft angels of slumber, lingering patiently, waiting for you to drift off into peaceful sleep. As your eyelids grow heavier, the beautifully woven teachings of Surah Al-Fatihah wrap around you like a soft shawl, inviting you to dream of worlds where laughter meets piety and profound wisdom dances in every corner. And as we draw this tranquil tale to a close, remember that the treasures of the soul can only be discovered with the right keys, and Surah Al-Fatihah is one of those ultimate keys. May you awaken tomorrow with renewed vigor and joy, carrying this divine wisdom in your heart. If you enjoyed our sleepy journey tonight, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow dreamers, and subscribe for more bedtime stories. Sleep tight, dear listener. Until next time, may your dreams be as majestic as the desert night sky. Chapter 3. The Divine Dialogue begins. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we embark on a journey even more mystical than trying to find matching socks in the dark. The divine conversation woven into the very fabric of Surah Al-Fatihah. Picture this: a time when GPS was as imaginary as a unicorn, and folks relied completely on ancient maps sewn into their clothing. If you think your morning discussions with your coffee machine are intense, just wait until you hear how Allah listens when you recite that opening surah. Spoiler alert, it's more engaging than a 3-hour Zoom call with a cat filter. Before we dive in, let me remind you to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you truly enjoy this bedtime journey. Just like you'd invite a good friend to dinner, but only if they don't mind your overcooked pasta. So, roll back your shoulders, dim the lights, perhaps turn on a fan, because even the blessed winds of ancient Arabia could use a little hype, and get cozy. While you settle in, have you ever wondered what a day felt like back in 610 CE? What on earth did people do without those fancy Netflix series? Did reality TV count as sitting around the campfire spinning tales of adventure? And what about fashion? Did you ever think those flowing robes were a good idea until you tripped over them while trying to impress someone at the bazaar? Oh, the drama. Congratulations. You've just woken up in 610 CE. Yes, even the date feels like a musical note you can't quite hit. Welcome to Mecca, bustling with excitement and far more lively than a goldfish at a disco party. Here, under the watchful gaze of the Kaaba, you find Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the man, the legend, the future world changer, pacing and pondering. Now, imagine strolling through a market filled with vendors calling out their wares, each trying to outdo the other. The air is thick with the fragrances of sweet spices and roasted meats, while dates hang temptingly from trees, as if they're paparazzi waiting for a photo op. It's not just a market, it's the ancient social media platform where gossip and deals intertwine, giving word of mouth a very different meaning. Let's talk prayer, shall we? Ever tried to focus while kids are running around throwing millet? Now, that's a real test of faith. You might find yourself trying to connect with the divine as goats casually graze nearby, munching on whatever they deem gourmet. It's like trying to meditate at a circus under a cotton candy cloud. You're witnessing the birth of a remarkable connection, one that's more intimate than your secrets shared during a midnight snack binge. Al-Fatihah. It's the ultimate opening act, a spiritual espresso shot in a world where caffeine was more elusive than a secret admirer. As you say the opening lines, you realize something shocking. Allah is responding, line by line. In this grand cosmic conversation, in the name of Allah, most gracious, the most merciful, morphs into a personal spiritual awakening. Can you feel the tickle of connection? This dialogue shapes destiny, just as surely as the sun shapes the shadows of ancient palm trees swaying in the breeze. Every phrase you recite becomes more than mere words. It's a divine dialogue, an opportunity to engage with the Creator at a level beyond comprehension. It's like the best "How's your day been?" chit-chat, but gloriously profound. Now, consider this. Every time you recite Al-Fatihah, you're igniting sacred flames of intention and communication, binding you closer to the cosmos. A friendship that even your neighbor's overly frequent visits won't match. Yes, that's right. This surah details your desires for guidance, affirmation, and reassurance from the Almighty. Each line crafts an intimate tapestry of hope and destiny, connecting you to a realm beyond the mundane. Just as merchants traded silks and spices, you're now trading your earthly worries for heavenly responses, one prayer at a time. Picture this. While performing your prayers, Can you hear the very fabric of fate whispering back in response? Guide us to the straight path, you ask. Without a doubt, here's your GPS to the divine route, the Creator replies. Reflect on this. The depths of this connection are endless and beautiful. It's like opening a door to a treasure chest of wisdom, sparks of divinity flying happily around while ancient palm trees nod in approval. As you delve deeper into Al-Fatihah, you encounter lines that serve as reminders of how every prayer can resonate with your soul's deepest wishes. It's more than just asking. It's about nurturing a relationship with something infinite, something greater. Think of it more like a solar-powered friendship, infinitely recharging every time you utter those sacred words. In the midst of your mind wandering, let's cast a brief glance at the small towns surrounding Mecca. Each person's life buzzes with family, trade, and the existential crisis of whether to eat another date or save it for later. Each enhanced interaction, every shared care, mingles with the prophetic wisdom reverberating through the community. Surah Al-Fatihah stands as an invitation to partake in a profound portion of life, a divine life shield against chaos. As you shift deeper into your cocoon of blankets, reflect on how this surah connects you with comfort when things feel overwhelming or even confusing. Like a spiritual hug snuggled under a moonlit sky. Rest now, dear friend. The moon dances above, casting silver shadows as the echoes of Surah Al-Fatihah cradle your thoughts. May the words of this surah wrap around you like a soft shawl, guiding you gently toward peaceful dreams where divine dialogues blossom like flowers in the desert. And as our peaceful journey draws to a close, may you remember that Al-Fatihah is not merely a prayer. It's a bridge, a link between the heart and the heavens. Each reflection invites you to believe and engage deeply with the divine. Should you wish to share this journey with others, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, spread the love, and subscribe. Sleep sweetly tonight, dear listeners, and may tomorrow bring you countless blessings and joyful revelations. Until next time, may your dreams be as illuminating as the stars blanketing the desert sky. Chapter 4. The 7 Steps of Salvation. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we find ourselves embarking on a journey more enlightening than discovering the secret grocery store that sells organic avocados at half the price. Welcome to the heart of Surah Al-Fatihah, where each of the 7 verses unfolds like a divine map, guiding us on a path that's parallel to navigating a maze. Only instead of cheese at the end, you find profound wisdom. Before we drift into this spiritually soothing realm, a quick reminder. If you find yourself chuckling or feeling an inkling of enlightenment, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and sprinkle a little comment below. But only if you genuinely find delight in this whimsical journey. Now, settle back into your comfy blankets, adjust that fan to just the right chilliness, and let's wrap ourselves in the warmth of divine dialogue. Now, have you ever pondered what life was like in 610 CE, the very heart of early Islam? Imagine waking up with a beard longer than a wise old sage's, and wondering if your camel is still tied up or has taken an adventurous stroll around town. Speaking of town, did these early Meccans have their own version of daily specials along the cobblestone streets? Or was bartering for bread as complicated as discussing politics during a silent prayer? Congratulations, you've just woken up in Mecca in the year 610 CE. The perfect time to grab coffee, but they haven't invented that yet. Instead, grab your favorite water skin and prepare to meet the trailblazer of faith, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who ponders over life's greatest questions while trying to avoid tripping over a stray goat. No easy task. As you meander through the busy market, picture the middle-aged vendors shouting their best offers, which sounds a lot like a kid's wrestling match over the last donut. The aroma of spices fills the air, blending with the scent of sun-baked dates and the slightly overwhelming, aroma of people. Yes, dear listener, people were everywhere, hustling, bustling, and perhaps, if you peek closely, showcasing styles that are a little questionable. Remember, not every robe can be this season's chic. But here's where it gets interesting. Let's step into prayer mode for a moment, shall we? Ever tried concentrating while a flock of sheep goes ready for grazing Olympics just a few feet away? It's like attempting meditation while a toddler insists on staging a one-drum band performance right beside you. You might find yourself trying to connect with the divine amid a goat patiently waiting for its turn to munch on your tunic. Surah Al-Fatihah emerges as a lifeline, a conversation starter, if you will, that begins with recognition and gratitude, paving the way toward a relationship with Allah. Reciting, "In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful," is like pressing the magic button to your spiritual Wi-Fi, universe granting you a connection to the divine. Can you feel the gentle tickling of purpose flowing? Just imagine asking, "Guide us to the straight path." Every word you articulate sends ripples through the cosmos, including echoes that might even bounce back and say, "Here's your divine GPS, start your navigation." Each of the 7 verses is like stepping stones in a river of righteousness, carefully laid to lead you toward peace, hope, and perhaps a little slice of eternity. Let's unpack these steps, shall we? First, we recognize the clear beginning, gratitude. Doesn't it feel lovely to acknowledge the blessings we often overlook? Like that moment you find a parking spot right in front of your destination? Each prayer serves a purpose. It shapes your life like a potter crafting a piece of delicate pottery, transitioning from muddy clay into something magnificent. Next comes worship, the heart of our spiritual practice. You might find this phrase eerily similar to when you desperately need a coffee fix and can't for the life of you locate a cafe. Cue the internal panic. In this moment of worship, the Prophet, peace be upon him, reminds us to lift our spirits and seek refuge in Allah's guidance when the going gets tough. We're talking about serious spiritual fortification. Imagine a bubble-wrap suit that protects you from life's daily stresses. Divine armor, if you may. Then comes accountability. Have you ever tried to hide from your friend after forgetting their birthday? Cue the sudden phone call checking on you. When you reflect on accountability to Allah, it's like realizing you can't go through life ignoring that sometimes tough love everyone needs. The good old, "Hey, remember that time you said you'd work out?" hits differently when it comes from your heart and your soul. This leads us to the all-important prayer for guidance, the straight path. This verse is essentially your divine, back-on-track reminder. Just like Siri can sometimes get disoriented, the road of faith may have a few unexpected bumps, like stepping in a camel's leftovers. Yet, fear not, for closeness to Allah becomes the guiding light through the uncertainty, illuminating even the murkiest paths with its brilliance. Remember, dear listener, though times may feel daunting, Surah Al-Fatihah is a magnificent promise from Allah that nurtures hope through every spoken word, like ordering pizza on a Tuesday night when you're too cozy to cook. These verses wrap around your consciousness, nurturing you, guiding you toward balance, and gently encouraging you to stretch your wings into the realm of faith. Reflect on this cosmic dialogue you're having, your heart calling forth guidance, reassurance, and that ever-important touch of humor built within creation itself. The verses unfold like petals on a flower, softly wrapped in grace, moving from recognition to gratitude, worship to accountability, finally blossoming into the illuminating light of divine guidance. As you nestle further into your blankets tonight, know that Surah Al-Fatihah acts like soft moonlight on your soul, softly guiding you through the labyrinth of life. May every prayer bring peace to your heart, just as evening stars light up the serene desert sky. And as our tranquil journey meanders to a gentle close, remember that the words of Surah Al-Fatihah are not just prayers, they're guiding stars paving your way to divine connection. If tonight's sublime adventure filled your heart, kindly leave us a thumbs up, spread the love around, and don't forget to subscribe. Sleep serenely, dear friends. May tomorrow bring you laughter and countless blessings. Until next time, may your dreams be as sweet as honey drizzled on warm bread, guiding you gently into the embrace of peace. Chapter 5. The Repetitive Reverberations. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we dive into a topic as profound as your neighbor's existential crisis over their avocado toast. The glorious, rhythmic repetition nestled within Surah Al-Fatihah. It's like the playlist of the universe, looping the most divine jam that shapes not only our prayer, but also our destiny. Just imagine, tuning in to the cosmic radio of life, where each recitation subtly programs your soul's GPS. Before we embark on this melodious journey, do us a tiny favor. If tonight's tale resonates like the gentle strumming of a lute, then like, subscribe, and sprinkle a comment below. Only if you truly delight in the experience, of course. Now, grab your blanket, dim those lights, and find a comfy corner, because we're about to saunter through a dimension where the power of words transforms realities. Now, have you ever found yourself wondering how the people of Mecca in 610 CE moved through their daily lives? Did they have their own version of caffeine jitters? Did folks in the bustling market whisper, "Hey, did you hear about that guy who claims the universe is a divine comedy? Wait, didn't he trip over a goat last week?" Well, congratulations! You've just woken up in Mecca, right at the dawn of Islam. Picture yourself strolling through dusty streets lined with merchants hawking spices and textiles, while the sun is hotter than a fresh out-of-the-oven pita. You dodge a sheep attending to its morning business, thinking, "Is this what my morning commute has come to?" Now, imagine a hush falling over the market as people gather around a man with a confident smile and a beard longer than your uncle's Thanksgiving story. Yes, it's Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, part-time eternal guide and full-time camel navigator. He's about to share some wisdom that will echo through the ages, and you'd better believe it starts with, "In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful." Now, let's pivot a little. What happens when you repeatedly utter the same words? Ever found yourself quoting your favorite sitcom line so much that your friends roll their eyes like they just met a lost tourist? Well, much like you nagging about that pizza topping it should have stayed at the oven, repeating the verses of Surah Al-Fatihah reshapes your spiritual journey. Consider this. There's a reason these 7 oft-repeated verses are the heartbeat of every prayer. Each recitation is like tuning a musical instrument. You're not just saying words, you're recalibrating your life's orchestra. They gently remind you of your purpose, holding your hand through life's melodrama as you dodge sheep and stumble over life's little inconveniences. The beauty lies in those lines. Guide us to the straight path. It's a divine tracking device, ensuring you're not veering off course into the desert of confusions, or worse, directly into a goat's lunchtime. With every utterance, these words ripple through the cosmos like a pebble dropping into water, sending out waves of intention and altering your destiny according to Allah's sacred design. Let's take a stroll through these verses, shall we? The first is all about gratitude. Picture this. You've finally found a parking spot, right where you need it. Alhamdulillah, you exclaim internally, and just like that, your day is blessed. This gratitude serves as your spiritual fuel, reminding you to cherish the simple blessings often overlooked. Then comes the heart of worship. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself craving a cup of coffee, only to realize it's just been a long day? Worship is like sipping that ridiculously overpriced latte. It lifts you up just as you should be lifting your heart toward Allah. In those moments of stress, reciting Al-Fatihah is like wrapping yourself in a fluffy quilt of divine love, always there when life's hurting you in the wrong direction. And accountability. Picture hiding from your ex after that awkward encounter, only to find them at the grocery store. Just as you can't escape the groceries, you can't escape Allah. Every prayer is that reminder. Every act is a step, and every word of Al-Fatihah layers your heart in compassion and sincerity, gently holding you accountable without the drama of a soap opera. Now we reach the plea for guidance, the straight path. It's your divine navigation system when life feels more like a maze of goats and carts than a clear highway. Trust the Wale, it whispers, illuminating your journey. The road of faith might have its camel-sized bumps, but Al-Fatihah gently nudges you back on track, guiding you through not just faith, but personal growth too. These verses are a cosmic promise. Each time you recite Al-Fatihah, remember, you are engaging in a sacred dialogue with Allah, the most radiant conversation of your life. It's like sending a direct text asking for what you need, and the response reverberates back in waves of wisdom that cradle your essence like a lullaby. As we drift deeper into this soothing night, know that repeating these verses is not merely an act, it's a way of reshaping your soul, filling it with divine vibrations. Like the gentle strum of a string on a desert breeze, let Al-Fatihah lift your spirit, guiding you through the labyrinth of life. In wrapping up our whimsical journey through the magic of Surah Al-Fatihah, remember, these verses are more than mere words. They are whispers of the universe, softly reminding us of our connection to the divine. If tonight's adventure tickled your soul, please leave a thumbs up and share the love. Until next time, may your dreams be as sweet as honeyed figs dipped in pure joy, guiding your heart to tranquility and bliss. Sleep well, dear friends. Chapter 6. The Praise That Reshapes Reality. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we embark on a journey that's more illuminating than a lamp lit with the wisdom of 1,000 suns. We're diving into the essence of Surah Al-Fatihah, the first chapter of the Quran, which is prayer, poetry, and a cosmic alignment all rolled into one. Ever considered how this one surah could be the ultimate life hack, kind of like the Swiss Army knife of spirituality? Spoiler alert, it starts with a most profound declaration of praise that echoes a little louder than your neighbor bragging about their latest home renovation. So, if you're ready to unlock the quiet power within, then let's cozy up, dim those lights, and nestle under your favorite blanket. Now, while you nestle in for tonight's escapade, let me ask you, have you ever pondered how the good folks of Mecca in 610 CE managed to keep their sanity in a world without air conditioning, or, dare I say, social media? Did they ever sit around a campfire, roasting sheep and sharing stories, while debating the relative merits of camel versus donkey for transportation? Or what about their version of a coffee break? Did it involve dates and laughter, or were they more into rumbling bellies and awkward silences? Well, congratulations. You've just woken up in Mecca, right at the dawn of Islam, a time when the streets buzzed like they were hosting an eternal market day. Picture this. You find yourself amidst the rhythmic hustle and bustle, with merchants peddling aromatic spices, and the air thick with the scent of roasted lamb and freshly baked bread. Just as you're thinking about treating yourself to a snack, you narrowly sidestep a wayward goat, pondering if this was the era's version of a slow day at work. Then, a sudden hush falls over the crowd, and in the center of it all stands a man, the one and only Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, with a beard so majestic it could qualify for a makeover campaign. He's here to share wisdom, and you better believe it starts with something stellar. All praise is for Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. It's like he just dropped the mic on the cosmic stage. But what does this declaration even mean? Let's dive deeper, shall we? All praise is for Allah. This isn't just a statement, it's the ultimate reframing of reality. Imagine reprogramming your brain with that mantra every day, like hitting refresh on your life. It's kind of like deciding that your favorite coffee shop is a place where everyone knows your name, and each sip feels more meaningful than just a caffeine fix. You are acknowledging the omnipotence, the grace, and the sheer wisdom of the Creator who, let's face it, has a lot more on his plate than merely watching over your morning cup of tea. When you proclaim this praise, life starts to rewire itself around you. Suddenly, you're no longer bound by the chaos of Mecca's market, but instead, you're dancing on the cosmic wave that aligns your personal GPS with divine frequency. You begin to see life as not just a series of events, but as a grand narrative. One where every camel you bump into or market bicker you engage in is a lesson in patience and perspective. Consider this next phase, the Lord of all the worlds. That's like stating that Allah is the owner of the ultimate amusement park, where you're invited in for free. Just think about it. Every challenge you face is like a ride. Thrilling, but perhaps a tad scary. Roller coasters seem like a piece of cake in comparison. When you realize Allah's dominion over all, you begin to reclaim your space in this vast cosmos, navigating the wildest of life's mazes with a newfound sense of purpose. You see, this phrase isn't just a rhetorical flourish. It reshapes how you view existence. It acknowledges the Maker's hand in everything, from the squawking of a chicken to the gentle sway of palm trees. Praise be to Allah. It's like wearing designer sunglasses that filter out the fuzziness of reality and let the brilliance of life shine through. Suddenly, you're looking at challenges less like uphill battles and more like beautifully complicated puzzles meant to exercise your faith. Let's take a moment to conceive how this reverberates daily. Just as the people of Mecca would gather, hanging on every word of the prophet, peace be upon him, so too can you commune with these verses, talking with Allah as if He's right there beside you, leaning in with a kindly smile as you navigate your day. So, as you drift off tonight, let's remind ourselves of this simple truth. Encapsulated in those 7 verses of Al-Fatihah lies an entire blueprint, not just for prayer, but for an enlightened existence. It's a call to appreciate the divine while embracing the mundane, transcending the ordinary, and illuminating our journeys with a new lens, one where all life becomes a series of divine conversations, urging you to see the beauty in every interaction and every challenge. Now, let gratitude stir within your soul, igniting that spark of connection to the heavens. As we close this chapter on the transformative declaration of praise, take a moment to reflect. In every utterance of "All praise is for Allah, the Lord of all the worlds," you are not just participating in a prayer, you're stepping into the flow of divine love. If tonight's adventure tickled your soul just right, don't forget to sprinkle some thumbs up, share the joy, and subscribe for more whimsical journeys. Until next time, may your dreams be as sweet as dates soaked in honey, guiding you ever closer to tranquility. Sleep tight, dear friends. Sleep tight. Chapter 7. Seeing the World Through Gratitude's Lens. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight we'll embark on a journey more enlightening than the moment when you finally find the missing sock from the laundry, the one that inspired a mini-dramatic monologue about how fate conspires against you. We'll dive into the wonderful web of gratitude, weaving through history, humor, and spirituality as we unlock the hidden powers of Surah Al-Fatihah and the broader Quranic experience. Sound good? Fantastic. But only if you genuinely enjoy this sort of escapade. If you don't, feel free to roam into the depths of distraction and leave this journey behind. So, if you're ready, dim the lights, turn on that gentle fan, and snuggle into your cozy nook. Picture yourself as an adventurous traveler in the bustling streets of Mecca, around the year 610 CE. Have you ever wondered how people stayed so cheerful without the world's most coveted comfort? Wi-Fi? I mean, did they even have likes or emojis to express their feelings? Imagine a merchant yelling over the noise of the bazaar. "Hey, check out my 10% happiness off sale on sunlit trinkets." Or perhaps they'd puff out their chests and declare, "My goat has a new trick. It can bleat hello in 3 languages." What would that look like? A true international superstar on 4 legs. Now, congratulations! You've just woken up in 610 CE, the year when the air is thick with spices, excitement, and a sprinkle of divine revelations, while half of Mecca is engrossed in a debate about whether to boast about their olive oil's richness or the strength of their donkey carts. You're in the heart of one of the liveliest markets, a place where vendors haggle over the price of silk, while the scent of roasted lamb dances playfully through the dusty streets. As you soak in the scenes of people rushing by, you overhear snippets of conversations. Someone explaining how having a pet camel is not just for wealthy folks, but a lifestyle choice. You chuckle, thinking about how our modern obsession with pets really hasn't changed much. Back then, the debates probably raged over whose camel was the friendliest, while today you'd argue whether a goldfish truly has a personality. Ah, the circular nature of life. But amidst this chaotic yet joyous atmosphere stands a remarkable figure whose voice commands unwavering attention, the one and only Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He may not have had an Instagram feed, but his presence radiates a light that cuts through the noise, akin to a viral TikTok dance resonating with millions. All praise is for Allah, the Lord of all the worlds, he proclaims. And just like that, the chaos quiets down. You can almost hear a pin drop, unless, of course, it was a goat looking for a quick snack, then all bets are off. Now, consider the weight of that declaration. All praise is for Allah. It's not just words, it's like the ultimate smartphone update that enhances every angle of your life, making everything clearer and lightened. Imagine launching your day with, "Today, all praise belongs to Allah." Every small annoyance, like forgetting where you parked your donkey, transforms into simple life lessons. And with that, your GPS is recalibrated. Any misadventures become grand designs of divine comedy. You begin to see the world through the lens of gratitude, where every moment is more precious than the finest silk scarf on sale. Yes, the bartering frustrations may strike, but suddenly they morph into opportunities to practice patience and understanding. A bit of character building, if you will. Why did the merchant cross the road, you'd mutter to yourself, to price check the competition, and maybe get a proper breakfast, layered with a generous sprinkle of laughter. Now, fasting forward to the impact of that little phrase, the Lord of all the worlds. What if you treated your daily stresses, like having to share your morning dates with that overly curious goat, as rides at a theme park? Those roller coasters of life can be thrilling. One moment you're on top of the world, and the next you're dodging an unexpected goat encounter. But wait, when you pause to breathe, you suddenly realize that you're part of something larger, a divine amusement park where every twist and turn has a purpose and a lesson. For our listeners, embracing this perspective means carrying gratitude like a stylish handbag, surpassing mere appreciation and embodying the joy of existence. Think of it as a modern-day thank you sent to the universe, instantly brightening up your surroundings. Suddenly, you're hopping through life, feeling like the lead role in a grand narrative, where each obstacle transforms into a cosmic, teachable moment. So, let's take a moment to reflect. As you lay your head on the pillow tonight, remember that gratitude is more than a sentiment. It's a spiritual backbone that can enhance every aspect of your life. It is, in many ways, a divine blueprint for richer living, urging you to embrace every experience, both the sweet moments and the challenging ones. By seeing your challenges as divine nudges rather than knockdowns, you end up reclaiming your agency and fortifying your heart with the strength of unwavering faith. As we wrap this chapter on gratitude and the profound way it reshapes our reality, ponder this. In proclaiming, "All praise is for Allah, the Lord of all worlds," you're not just engaging in a prayer, you're stepping into a magnificent dance of divine connection. If tonight's exploration stirred something within you, don't forget to sprinkle some thumbs up, share the joy, and subscribe for more lighthearted yet enlightening tales. Until next time, may your dreams be as sweet as dates dipped in honey, leading you gently into a state of blissful tranquility. Sleep tight, dear friends. Dear friend. Chapter 8. The Power of Praise. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we dive into an exploration deeper than the mysteries of your fridge at 3 a.m., where that leftover lasagna somehow seems to grow legs and move around on its own. Have you ever wondered how starting each day with praise can set the course for a life filled with strength, clarity, and contentment? Or if anyone pondered the resilience of those who could rise after a tough test, like a phoenix? Or perhaps more relatable, just your uncle after a light nap at family gatherings. Now, before we embark on this delightful journey, a gentle reminder. If you genuinely enjoy wandering through tales like a lost sock in the laundry, consider giving that thumbs up button an affectionate tap. Don't forget to subscribe and drop us a line in the comments, but only if you actually enjoy this whimsical ride through history and spirituality. Now, let's set the atmosphere. Dim those lights, switch on a gentle breeze from your fan, and get cozy, because it's time to slip into a world where gratitude flows freely and praise is your best friend. Picture this. You're standing in the heart of bustling Mecca around the year 610 CE. The air is rich with scents of spices more vibrant than a midnight snack call. Ever wondered what daily life was like without reality TV? How did they stay entertained? Or even, who was the original goat meme lord with stories that made them all laugh? You've just woken up in a world filled with merchants bellowing sales pitches louder than a modern-day auctioneer, but with an intriguing twist. They were not just selling silk. They were selling the finest goat in the region, guaranteed to impress your entire neighborhood. You might chuckle, imagining the bartering. I'll give you 3 baskets of figs and a sincere compliment in exchange for that goat. Such was the humor of life. In the midst of this lively chaos stands the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, calmly captivating the gathering throng. Imagine him delivering his message, his voice soothing like your favorite comforting blanket on a chilly night. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all worlds, he proclaims. And suddenly, the bustling market hushes, except for the occasional bleat of a goat that might still be trying to negotiate its own worth. Now, let's pause here and consider the profound weight of those words. All praise is due to Allah. It's not just a sweet refrain. It's the ultimate starting point, a compass guiding your heart through even the shoddiest of life's tests. Starting each day with praise is like sipping your morning coffee. It warms your spirit and sharpens your focus. Imagine waking up and thinking, today, all praise is for Allah. Instantly, those small annoyances, like a misplaced sandal, transform into mere footnotes in your day, while unpleasant confrontations become opportunities for practice, or, as I like to call it, life's very own adventure quests. So let's delve into the lasting power of praise. You see, starting with gratitude doesn't merely help you handle tests without breaking. It teaches you how to embrace blessings without swaggering around like a peacock who's one feather away from a fashion show. It's almost as if gratitude acts as a magical shield against both trials and triumphs, allowing you to gracefully waltz through life's grand hall of experiences, where some days you glide and other days you glide, then trip over your own feet. Let's imagine for a moment how the market scene plays out from this grateful mindset. As you barter for your precious goods, perhaps engaging in artistic negotiations that rival any Shakespearean drama, you find that every challenge and interaction inspires patience and understanding. Your quizzical uncle? He might just become a source of laughter rather than a point of conflict as you remind yourself, his heart's as big as a camel in a reunion. With this lens of gratitude, you realize life is like a vast banquet spread out before you, with every challenge serving as a curious dish that beckons you to taste, learn, and grow. Life's tests? Consider them the occasional mystery meat. You might raise an eyebrow or shrug your shoulders, but finding humor in the absurdity is what's really on the menu. So, whether you encounter the dramatic merchant clinching a deal with more flair than a magician pulling rabbits from hats, or the local know-it-all debating whether his dates truly have superior sweetness over your own, thankfulness will be your trusty guide. You become adept at recognizing life's pleasant surprises, like finding out that your favorite dish is just around the corner and discovering an unexpected burst of joy in the mundane. In this grand tapestry of creation, praise and gratitude help us connect to something greater. Each breath taken in a spirit of gratitude is like laying beautiful, colorful tiles across the floor of your existence. Each step in life becomes an opportunity to craft spaces filled with light and positivity that invite others to bask in your warm glow. As you lay your head down tonight, remember this. The act of praising Allah is not simply a ritual, but a bridge to strength and self-awareness. When you acknowledge the divine in your life, you're not just reciting words, you're inviting peace, clarity, and a spirit unyielding in the face of adversity. It's like wielding an invisible sword, fearlessly facing the dragons of your day-to-day life. As we softly close this chapter on the divine power of praise, contemplate its lasting impact. In reciting, "All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all worlds," you're engaging in more than prayer. You're participating in a grand narrative, woven through time and spirit. Remember, every moment is an invitation to appreciation. If tonight's journey resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, share the joy, and subscribe for more light-hearted yet enlightening tales. Until we meet again, may your dreams soar higher than the clouds, carrying you gently into the embrace of tranquility and happiness. Sleep tight, dear friends. Chapter 9. The Heart's Invitation. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. As you nestle into the cozy corners of your bed, prepare yourself for a journey so enlightening it could make the morning cup of coffee seem like yesterday's soggy cereal. Tonight, we dive into the magic that lies within Surah Al-Fatihah. Yes, that small yet mighty chapter that packs enough spiritual punch to wake anyone drowsy from last night's Netflix binge. Ever wondered how humanity managed long before Wi-Fi, or how people navigated personal conflicts without texting LOL under an emoji of a cat? What kind of negotiations took place when someone borrowed a date off your plate? And speaking of plates, who else thinks the camel herders probably had better dance moves than we do? Before we roll into this ancient narrative, a gentle nudging to those lovely souls out there. If you find humor in the little quirks of life, please give that thumbs up button a friendly poke, subscribe if you're tickled by our tales, and drop us a note in the comments, just as long as you're enjoying this whimsical ride through history and spirituality. Now, take a deep breath, dim those lights, and let the gentle hum of your fan remind you of balmy nights spent dreaming. Picture this. You've just woken up in the heart of bustling Mecca, year 610 CE. The air is thick with the scent of spices, more vibrant than your aunt's enthusiasm at family reunions, and the chatter around you is louder than a toddler discovering sugar for the first time. Congratulations! You've landed right in the middle of a marketplace filled with deals that make modern Black Friday look like a polite sales event. Merchants hawk their wares with energy that makes you question if they've ingested too many figs. Get your finest silks here, guaranteed to impress your neighbors. We'll match any goat to your specs, you hear shouted from every corner. As you stroll past stalls brimming with dates that look more appetizing than your last grocery haul, you wonder about the sort of decisions made in this vibrant setting. How did people resolve disputes? Did they have family drama like we do? You borrowed my last fig? I'm telling Dad. And can you imagine the local gossip? Did you hear about Fatima? She's got more herbs than an old spice market. There must be something magical going on over there. In the midst of this lively chaos stands the beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, like that charismatic friend who seamlessly brings laughter to any gathering. Picture him, a calm presence amid the uproar as he delivers a timeless message that resonates like your favorite playlist on repeat. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of all worlds, he announces, and like a spell cast, the bustling marketplace hushes. Well, maybe not the occasional goat still trying to negotiate its worth. Now, let's take a moment to honestly consider the monumental significance of those words. All praise is due to Allah. They serve as the launch pad of divine insight, like hitting start on your morning routine that leads you to a life filled with strength, clarity, and yes, sometimes peaceful naps. Starting each day with such praise is as vital as that first cup of coffee. It connects your heart to a purpose and transforms even the smallest frustrations, like misplacing your sandals, into mere footnotes of existence. Just imagine standing at the market once more, trading figs for silk, or perhaps the trendy new pursuit of rare herbs. By welcoming a mindset of gratitude, you're equipped to tackle trials with the grace of a gazelle, or at least an enthusiastic donkey, while finding humor in the day. You laugh, recalling your quizzical uncle who likes to argue about everything from olives to the structure of the universe. Bless his heart, his love for olives is larger than any argument he can muster. In this bustling life of commerce and charisma, you find that praise acts as a magical shield, protecting you from both trivial inconveniences and bolstering you to savor victories without strutting like a competition-winning rooster. You navigate life's banquet, a unique cuisine of experiences, where challenges become those mysterious dishes that only a brave soul would dare to try. And yes, sometimes you'll raise an eyebrow at what's served, but enjoying the banquet is all part of this grand adventure. As you trade stories with traders and ponder over deals, it dawns on you, mastering this noble tradition is a skill. It's less of a "what's yours is mine" mentality, and more of a "let's find common ground," as the merchant attempts to dance around the facts while dodging your negotiation tactics. So, as you drift into those gentle arms of sleep tonight, let this remembrance settle in your heart. Engaging in praise is more than a simple habit. It's a deliberate bridge to strength and wisdom. Acknowledging the divine presence in your life invites peace, clarity, and that unyielding spirit when faced with life's numerous tests. To wind down this chapter, reflect on how your journey is framed by that divine proclamation. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all worlds. Embrace it not just as ritual, but as a vibrant backdrop to your unique story, a reminder that life can be a tapestry woven in gratitude, transforming hurdles into opportunities for personal growth. As the curtain closes on this heartwarming tale of praise, ponder its echo in your life. When you say, "All praise is due to Allah," you aren't merely reciting words. You're participating in a cosmic narrative that embraces all of humanity. If you found tonight's exploration enjoyable, or at the very least amusing, do hit that thumbs up, share widely, and subscribe for more enchanting tales. Until we drift together again, may your dreams be like a gentle breeze beneath a starry sky, guiding you to serenity and laughter. Sleep well, dear friends. Well. Chapter 10. A Divine Hug from the Most Merciful. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we embark on a journey so heartwarming it could make even the most stoic cat purr. Picture this: a fine evening somewhere around 610 CE, where the sun gently kisses the golden sands of Mecca, and the air is more fragrant than your favorite bakery's first batch of croissants. We're diving into the realm of Surah Al-Fatihah, the remarkable opening chapter of the Quran, which brings forth Allah's declaration as the most merciful, the especially merciful. Before you drift off to sleep, let's ponder this. Have you ever felt that unexpected wave of comfort when you embrace an old friend after years apart? Or that warm feeling when you realize your favorite quilt is still tucked away in the closet? Life can be tough, but sometimes you just need a divine hug, And that's exactly what this chapter provides. So, grab your favorite pillow, snuggle in, and allow yourself to feel wrapped in Allah's mercy. As we delve deeper, let's amuse ourselves with some absurd questions to ponder. How do merchants of yore manage drama in the marketplace? Did they argue passionately over dates, as we do over toilet paper? Picture someone dramatically shouting, "I swear by my mother's figs, that's my last silk." And have you ever wondered what it felt like to have sand in your shoe for an entire week? Did they just shake it out like a disgruntled hen? Okay, it's time to settle in. Take a deep breath, dim the lights, and let that comforting fan breeze across you as we tumble headlong into the heart of 610 CE. Congratulations! You've just woken up in the bustling streets of Mecca, where the world is more vibrant than your aunt's over-the-top holiday decorations. And today's hot topic isn't the weather, but whether the merchant's new camel is the best this side of the town. Let's talk about something vital: mercy. Imagine, if you will, the marketplace is alive with bartering voices, and there stands our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a steady presence like that one friend who can diffuse any awkward silence with a well-timed joke. You can almost hear him addressing the crowd, his voice resonating like a melodious flute in the midst of chaos. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all worlds. And just like that, let's contemplate the significance of those words. All praise is due to Allah. Imagine it as an invincible spell that calms the tides of life's tumult, allowing one to float effortlessly like a boat on a serene lake. Each phrase resonates, bringing a sense of purpose and clarity that transforms life's petty annoyances, like a stubborn stain on your favorite garment, into mere blips on your radar. As you stroll through the market, embracing the scents of exotic spices and the chatter of excited traders, you realize the profound importance of gratitude. It's like clutching a bag of ancient coins. Every compliment spoken is an investment into a life of happiness. Instead of worrying about the late shipment of figs or the neighbor's outrageous gossip, you laugh at the colorful characters surrounding you. How funny they must look, scurrying around like chickens, each in their dance of determination and fervor. But let's pivot back to Al-Fatihah. It's not merely a poetic string of words, it is the very embodiment of divine mercy, a soft cocoon that encourages you to embrace challenges with the elegance of a gazelle, or perhaps with the playfulness of a kitten chasing a ball of yarn. Every mention of merciful is like a gentle reminder that, just as the sun rises every day, so do your chances to embrace kindness. Now imagine a fellowship formed amongst the merchants. Each has their quirks and eccentricities. Perhaps one can't stop bragging about his strongest camel, who can outrun the wind, while another argues about the tastiest dates. "These are direct from my uncle's orchard," they claim passionately, giving each other exaggerated high fives like a scene from a comedy sketch. And in that divine atmosphere, it dawns upon you: what if all this joviality is a reflection of our human experience? It's our flaws and foibles wrapped in the comforting cloak of community that allows us to connect. Just as Al-Fatihah gives us that divine hug, so does the laughter of those around us double as healing balm for the spirit. So, as you drift toward the gentle shores of slumber tonight, remember this vital lesson. Praise and gratitude become the anchors supporting us in life's bustling market. They serve as shields against frustrations and insecurities, much like a beloved friend who reminds you of your worth amid life's chatter. Life can be unpredictable, like a game of sand toss, but through praise to the Lord and kindness to one another, we cement our bonds, finding joy even in the most challenging of times. As you reflect on love and mercy, realize this: life unfolds in mysterious yet delightful ways, pushing each of us toward personal growth. Using Al-Fatihah as your guide, bask in the calming waves of divine mercy, ready to meet tomorrow armed with a heart full of praise. So there you have it, dear dreamers. From the bustling paths of Mecca to the gentle embrace of Surah Al-Fatihah, may you carry this deliciously comforting thought into your dreams. Life, with its accessible blend of humor and affection, is a divine journey filled with opportunities to nurture love and gratitude. If you found tonight's exploration to your liking, perhaps even more soothing than a warm cup of tea, do give that thumbs up button a gentle poke. Share, subscribe, and talk to us in the comments. Until we meet again in this realm of tranquility, may your dreams be sweet and your heart forever open to experiencing Allah's abundant mercy. Sleep well, dear friends. Sleep well. Chapter 11. The Big Heart of the Universe. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight we embark on a journey deeper than the lofty aspirations of a cat eyeing that elusive laser dot. Picture this: 610 CE, swinging back to Mecca, a town more bustling than a beehive during honey season. Here the sands are hotter than gossip at your local coffee shop, and the sun is shining like it just won the Best Star in the Sky award. While you settle in, I invite you to ponder some utterly ridiculous questions, perhaps even more perplexing than the latest trends in avocado toast. Have you ever wondered how people traded spices back then? Did they use a secret handshake or a fancy hat dance? And what about camel fashion? Did they ever accidentally buy an outrageous pink outfit for their trusted steed? Just imagine trying to explain that to your neighbors. As I invite you to dim those lights, let's rub our sleepy eyes and cozy up under the warmth of mercy like it's your favorite throw blanket. Breathe deeply as we dive into the poetic wisdom of Surah Al-Fatihah, where we unearth those divine gems of gratitude that echo louder than a baby's laughter. Congratulations! You've just woken up in 610 CE, a thrilling moment in the heart of a city where the chatter is as vibrant as a rainbow after a storm, a patchwork of voices echoing across the marketplace. Merchants barter with more fervor than teenagers trading Pokémon cards, casting their hopes and aspirations high into the warm air. Let's talk about mercy for a moment. You might have heard the lovely phrase from Surah Al-Fatihah, the most merciful, the especially merciful. Imagine the merchants, flinging their bags of dates and spices like comedic jugglers. They're not just selling wares, they're exchanging kindness, laughter, and the age-old secret of sharing your last piece of baklava with a perfect stranger. Now that's a connection worth more than gold or spices. As you wander through the bustling streets of Mecca, let the aromas of fresh bread mingle with the sweet, honey-like air, forcing you into a daydream that's richer than your favorite dessert. The sound of sandals flipping and flopping as people rush past invokes that delightful nostalgia, like stumbling upon your old cassette tapes while cleaning out the attic. Isn't it funny how sounds can instantly transport us to better days? But let's decipher those words from our beloved Surah Al-Fatihah. Imagine it as an intricately woven tapestry, the threads of tranquility expertly laced with faith and gratitude. Each phrase is a reminder that destiny is reliant not on failures or unmet expectations, but on the tide of Allah's boundless mercy. Like meeting that friend who always assures you that you can totally rock that ridiculous hairstyle. They always believe in your potential, no matter how wild your fashion choices might be. And just like that, Surah Al-Fatihah acts as a soft pillow for the weary traveler's heart, bringing a sense of hope as resilient as that one plant in your grandmother's garden which refuses to die even when completely ignored. Each recitation of this glorious chapter serves to awaken the realization it's okay to stumble, laugh at yourself, and carry on with life, equipped with a heart full of gratitude. Now, let's pause for a moment of drama. Picture this: two merchants standing face to face, escalating with theatrical flair. "By the sand in my slippers, my dates are fresher than yours," one bellows, gesturing dramatically, ensuring he's winning the crowd's attention like a master actor in a comedy. And just as they're about to take their eccentric rivalry to new heights, you quietly intervene with a joke. Who knew humor was the best merchant in any marketplace? But, dear friends, the essence of our story isn't merely those funny scenes. It's the unraveling understanding of mercy, and compassion. As you eavesdrop on the conversations of the merchants, you realize how every exchange becomes an opportunity, a trade not just of goods, but of kindness and fellowship, much like tossing around compliments at a family gathering over sweet tea. Wouldn't it be lovely if we were all vendors of warm-heartedness, selling bundles of compassion like hotcakes? And thus, as our journey through 610 CE winds down, remember that amid the bustling streets and booming voices, the heart of humanity beats strongest when wrapped in love and laughter. Here's to the illuminating power of Al-Fatihah. May its profound wisdom penetrate our lives like the gentle waves that wash gently against the shore. As the day comes to an end, and the citizens of Mecca tire as they prepare for another day to laugh, trade, and perhaps even tussle over the last slice of baklava, we also draw closer to the embrace of slumber. Allow the waves of mercy to envelop you as you reflect on the beauty of kindness and gratitude, resting softly in the knowledge that tomorrow will bring new opportunities to appreciate the lighter side of life. So there you have it, dear dreamers. From the bustling markets of Mecca to the intricate wisdom held within Surah Al-Fatihah, may you carry this light-hearted and comforting thought into your dreams. Life, wrapped in the grace of laughter and love, is a divine adventure waiting to bloom. If tonight's journey resonated with you, perhaps even more soothing than a warm cup of tea, do consider giving that thumbs up button a gentle poke. Share this with your loved ones, and subscribe, but only if you actually enjoy this. We promise there's more laughter and tranquility around the corner. Until next we meet, may your dreams be sweet, your heart full, and your slumber ever so peaceful. Chapter 12. The Two Umbrellas of Mercy. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we delve into a theme that's broader than a blanket invitation to a family wedding feast. Mercy. Picture this. 610 CE, in the sun-kissed sands of ancient Mecca, where even camels were probably shrugging under the weight of the burning sun. The aroma of bubbling chickpeas wafts through the air, more inviting than that leftover pizza in your fridge you've been eyeing since last Tuesday. As you settle into your cozy oasis, a pillow fort made of clouds, perhaps, I want you to ponder some downright ridiculous questions that might just tickle your funny bone. Ever thought about how people in the past navigated without GPS? Did they have secret compass dances? And what about camel etiquette? Did they ever argue about whose camel was more stylish, leading to epic fashion disputes worthy of a runway show in Paris? Just imagine the absurd fights over who could orchestrate the most breathtaking hee-haw performance. Now, as you dim the lights and indulge in a generous dose of comfort food, whether that's a bowl of popcorn or perhaps a sinister snack of midnight cake, you might ask yourself, what does mercy look like in a bustling place like Mecca? Or how on earth did one express love and obedience to God amidst the chaos of trade and chatter? Congratulations! You've just woken up in the heart of Mecca, a vivid hive of activity where everyone seems to be selling something more interesting than yard sales in suburbia. The midday sun is blazing, casting shadows taller than your dreams of becoming a professional napper, creating a spectacle where merchants are bargaining over fruit and spices as if their livelihoods depended on it. Oh wait, they do. Let's talk about mercy for a moment. In Surah Al-Fatihah, we're reminded of the two beautiful forms of mercy. The first kind is like an umbrella that scarcely leaves anyone dry. It falls freely upon every creature, including that neighbor's cat who stares at you like he owns the place. The second is a special gift, lovingly reserved for those who direct their hearts toward God. Imagine, in this crowded place, how many people are unknowingly under the blanket of this first mercy, sharing laughter over a new spice blend, while another is passionately reciting poetry about the beauty of sand. Feeling rather profound, wouldn't you agree? Now, close your eyes for a moment and soak in the vibrant scene. The rhythm of bustling merchants sounds almost like a catchy tune, where each sale could be a verse in their ongoing lyrical battle for the most delectable deals. In the mix of it all, They're not merely exchanging goods. They're engaging hearts, sharing smiles, and dropping dad jokes that slightly embarrass them, a commodity more valuable than gold. Picture this: two ambitious vendors squaring off with a friendly yet theatrical flair. One, a proud date seller, passionately shouts, "My dates are sweeter than a grandmother's love." The other, dripping with sass, retorts, "Oh please, mine can make even honey blush." This is not merely a market, it's a live show where comedy meets commerce. Now, let's delve deeper into the roots of mercy woven through the fabric of Surah Al-Fatihah. The gentle cadence of the most merciful, the especially merciful, is not just an artistic expression, but a profound reminder of how our lives can be as sweet and sticky as honeyed figs if we let mercy guide our hearts. When people shop in Mecca, it's not merely a transaction. It's a symphony of shared experiences, a celebration of humanity threaded with kindness. Even as the sun blazes, can you hear the collective laughs erupting as two toddlers argue over the best method to eat a portion of halwa? One insists on a systematic approach, while the other dives in with all the gusto of a first-time player in a sandcastle competition. They're both equally adorable. And just like the traders who blend their spices with a flick of the wrist, we can blend our lives with mercy, making it as rich and satisfying as a warm bowl of lentil soup on a cold day. Think about how each phrase from Surah Al-Fatihah is like a stitch in a lovely quilt. Each thread represents a moment of gratitude, weaving together the ordinary and extraordinary into the grand narrative of life. As our story unfolds through the sands of time, we can find comfort in the understanding that mercy isn't a distant purchase in tomorrow's marketplace. It's an absolute treasure we can carry within us, an umbrella we can share, shielding others from the rain of hardship that often drizzles unpredictably upon our lives. And as the sun dips below the horizon, the citizens of Mecca laugh and share stories, their hearts overflowing with mercy, and their spirits alight with the beauty of living together. With that in mind, let's slip gently into sweet slumber, cherishing the moments of connection and the soft rains of mercy that nourish our souls, until tomorrow brings another chance to share those sweet moments. So, dear listeners, we've explored the vibrant streets of Mecca and the tender subtleties of mercy found in Surah Al-Fatihah. As you float into dreamland, may your heart remain open to the waves of kindness that ripple through our lives, just like the delightful ebb and flow of a warm breeze. If tonight's journey tickled your imagination and offered a peaceful recess from the highs and lows of daily life, do a kind deed. Take a moment to tap that thumbs up button, share this story with friends, and subscribe if this resonated with you. Only if you enjoyed it, of course. Until next time, may your dreams be sweeter than a slice of freshly baked baklava, your heart remain light, and your slumber be peaceful. Chapter 13. The Welcome Mat of Allah's Mercy. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight we embark on an exploration more heartwarming than that sweet scent of freshly baked bread wafting through your neighborhood. And trust me, that's some serious competition. Yes, we're diving into the profound concept of mercy, specifically the magnanimous mercy of Allah, which can stretch wider than the hustle and bustle of a medieval souk. Before we set sail through the sands of time, let's allow our imaginations to run wild. Ever pondered how folks back then communicated without emojis? How many trees did they have to send heartfelt messages through letters? Did they have a secret handshake for, "Can you believe it? This camel will not stop chewing my pants"? Picture that. Or consider the heartfelt drama of not finding your leather sandals right before the big market day. Truly a crisis of epic proportions. So, dear friends, as you reach for that plush blanket, dim the lights as if you're about to unveil a hidden treasure and settle into your perfect spot, perhaps doing your best impression of a cozy burrito. Now, allow me to ask you a few more silly questions. What would you barter in the marketplace? 100 dates for a pair of sparkling shoes? Or perhaps that epic barbecue recipe you know would make you the talk of the town. Can you imagine the sheer chaos of trying to agree on the price for a bowl of lentil soup with a guy who believes it could cure anything from a broken heart to a bad hair day? Ah, the joys of pre-modern negotiations. Congratulations! You've just woken up in 610 CE, Mecca, the year of divine revelations and also a surprisingly competitive year for local merchants. The sun is ablaze in the sky, turning the marketplace into a vibrant patchwork quilt of colors and sounds. Traders huddle over their wares, bickering and negotiating like they're casting spells to summon customers from as far away as Damascus, all while dodging the remains of last night's feast. Some might say, that's what they call market ambiance. But let's talk mercy. You see, in the swirling chaos of life in Mecca, where everyone seems to have an opinion and a glint in their eyes reminiscent of a hawk spotting lunch, mercy manifests all around us. Think of Surah Al-Fatihah, which begins with the phrase, "the most merciful, the especially merciful." This shout-out reminds us that the mercy of Allah is as unending as the rolls in a bakery, warm, soft, and surprisingly plentiful. It's the first love letter from the sky saying, "Hello, dear human. Even on your worst day, I'm here for you, like that aunt who always pretends you're the best cook, even if you secretly made your dish from a packet." As you stroll through the market, carefully avoiding the curious glances of thoroughbred camels, recognize that the mercy of Allah is like that ever-present welcome mat in front of a loved one's house, laid out freely, inviting everyone, regardless of their past mistakes. Picture two traders, each with a laugh to share and stories more animated than a public debate on whose dates are sweeter. One might say, "My dates are fit for a king," and the other, with a sly grin, replies, "King, my dates even let a camel parade. Want to bet?" The humor and jests echo through the stalls, affirming that in the chaos of life, laughter and mercy are necessary threads woven deeply into the fabric of humanity. Now, pause for a moment and focus on the sounds around you. Can you hear it? The excited yelping of scrawny children trying to barter for sweets, or the jubilant clinks of coins exchanged like they're performing a bizarre musical number? In this setting of hustle and bustle, every smile shared, every date bartered, becomes a small act of mercy. A reminder that everyone, from the grand bazaar merchant to the toddler eyeing too many sweets, is under the compassionate embrace of divine mercy. And further down the way, you spot a fellow reflecting deeply, their demeanor a mix of overblown philosophical depth and an unsatiated desire for more lentils. They ponder, perhaps out loud, "How come water never runs dry, yet my latest issues on saving enough money for bread seems endless?" Ah, classic commentary on the thirst for understanding that resonates even today in the age of fancy coffee. As we explore Surah Al-Fatihah more deeply, think of each line as like a gentle whisper from Allah, an invitation to turn our collective frowns upside down. When times get tough, remember that mercy is your spiritual umbrella, one always at arm's length. Whether you're stumbling over your day-to-day problems or finding joy in the simplest of things, mercy pours down, refreshing the spirit every bit as much as gentle spring rain feeds parched land. And as the sun edges towards dusk, bathing the marketplace in hues of burnt orange and soft pink, imagine the people of Mecca, both joyful and burdened alike. Their laughter mingles with whispers of hope, hearts filled with anticipation for the merciful embrace ever present around them. What you witness, through the ups, down, and silly moments of family life, is a beautiful expression of the very best of humanity, bathed in Allah's grace. The spirit of Al-Fatihah invites you to embrace the gifts of mercy, to be the light for one another, and perhaps most importantly, to share a few good chuckles along the way. So, dear listeners, we've waded through the laughter, misunderstandings, and the vast ocean of mercy that stretches beyond our regrets. As you find yourself drifting softly into a restful slumber, may your heart remain ever open to those gentle rain showers of kindness and understanding that murmur through our lives. If tonight's journey added a sprinkle of serenity to your evening, and you'd like to embark on more adventures with us, remember to give that thumbs up button a gentle tap. Share this story of mercy with your friends and family, and subscribe if this vibe resonates with you, only if you truly enjoyed it, of course. May your dreams be sweeter than 1,000 honeyed dates. May your spirit dance gently among the clouds of compassion. And may you wake up tomorrow feeling as light as a feather carried on the wings of mercy. Sleep well. Chapter 14. The Gentle Hand of Mercy. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight we explore a force more constant than the sunrise, but doesn't come with a snooze button: the divine mercy of Allah. Imagine, if you will, a cosmic hug so warm that even in the coldest winters of 610 CE, you'd still feel like you're wrapped in your favorite, slightly dog-eared blanket. Picture a bustling marketplace in Mecca, alive with the cacophony of merchants shouting over each other, vying for the attention of passers-by like children fighting for the last piece of baklava. Can I interest you in a magnificent assortment of spices? Or perhaps a camel ride that won't scar your dignity? Ah, what a delightful pandemonium, wouldn't you agree? Before we step onto the cobblestone streets where paths intersect like a spider's web of stories, let's indulge in a few deranged questions. Did people forget their shopping lists back then? If so, how did they haggle? With the power of mind reading? Imagine yourself having to barter without the comfort of Google. Excuse me, good sir, what's the going rate for your premium wool? We'd all need some divine memory to avoid feeling completely out of sorts. As you snuggle into your bed, comfy as a date nestled in a soft pastry, allow your mind to wander to the characters lingering in the shadows of this engaging time. Ever wonder what they did when their favorite sandals were out of style? Did they improvise fashion tips with discarded fabric? Or maybe stage a protest? We want flip-flops. Congratulations. You've just woken up in the heart of Mecca in the year 610 CE, when the air is as shimmering with potential as a mirage in the Sahara. Storekeepers are hawking their wares with all the panache of reality TV stars, while the spice vendors are creating scented clouds of cinnamon and cardamom, so enticing they could put any perfume advertisement to shame. Now let's discuss mercy. A concept woven into the very fabric of every exchange, every glance, every mischievous nugget of gossip. Beneath the palpable hustle and bustle lies compassion, as deeply embedded in the community as a secret pastry recipe passed down through generations. Just think of Surah Al-Fatihah, the opening chapter of the Quran, where the first lines sing the praise of the most merciful, the especially merciful. It's as if Allah is saying, relax, I've got your back, even if you accidentally knocked over the pottery stand last week. As you wander through the marketplace, sensing the vibrant colors and smells melting into one another, take a moment to consider that each interaction is an opportunity for mercy. A vendor handing a child a sweet, despite knowing full well that sugar is about to cause a mini tornado of chaos. The laughter that erupts from friendly banter, akin to a game of musical chairs, gives life a delightful rhythm. In this humble surroundings, mercy is everywhere, whispering its soft assurances, like an affectionate breeze. Perhaps you spot an elder struggling to lift their fruit basket, and without a second's thought, you help them. That's mercy in action, like an invisible thread connecting every person, every heart, reminding us of our shared humanity. Engaging in this concept is like refreshing your memory every time you open a favorite book. The compassion feels familiar, but every read reveals a new layer. When you navigate your daily life, think of these stories as spiritual checkpoints, a reminder that falling down sometimes leads to the sweetest wares. Each stumble, each frustrating moment, becomes a doorway inviting you back into divine grace. And speaking of stumbles, let's chat about that ambitious merchant who attempts to impress the crowd by balancing a dozen dates on his head, only to realize his head is not a plate. The laughter that follows isn't just joyful, it's an unfolding moment of divine mercy. It shows us that no matter how serious life gets, there's always time for a giggle. It's truly a heartwarming reminder that mercy can also be a good chuckle shared among friends. Back to Surah Al-Fatihah, the glorious chapter beckoning us to experience lives drenched in mercy, reminds us that even the smallest acts can ripple out into the community, fostering kindness like the sun nurturing a growing flower. It embodies an eternal invitation to cherish and spread mercy in our world, like the way one finds delight in offerings of fragrant jasmine or an unmissable invitation to tea. As evening descends upon the lively marketplace, the colors soften to gentle hues, and conversations flicker as if caught in the starlight above. People share stories, recount tales of both awkward moments and triumphs, coming together to weave a narrative so rich it feels like the divinity is mingling among them, reminding them that mercy reigns even in tough times. So before we drift into slumber, I invite you to consider this. What little acts of mercy can you indulge in tomorrow? Can you spare a smile to a stranger, lend a helping hand, or share a kind word? Life, with its ups, downs, and awkward chuckles, becomes infinitely more beautiful through the lens of mercy, a treasure more invaluable than the finest silk or most delicious dates. As we've journeyed tonight through laughter, compassion, and the vast ocean of mercy that envelops us all, may the softness of that understanding guide you into a gentle sleep. If tonight's story added a sprinkle of comfort to your evening, don't forget to give that thumbs up button a nudge. Share this tale with your friends and family, and subscribe if this journey resonates with your heart. But only if you actually enjoyed this, of course. May your dreams be sweeter than the finest honey. May your heart embrace the warmth of mercy. And may you awaken tomorrow with a spirit as light as a feather, ready to weave joy into every corner of your day. Sleep well. Chapter 15. The Echoes of Destiny. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we are diving into a river of reflections, warmer than the tea you'll wish you had while listening to this narrative. The profound impact of Surah Al-Fatihah on the lives of early believers. Picture yourself in the year 610 CE, amidst the dust and bustle of Mecca, where every grain of sand seems to tell a story, and every face reflects a flicker of destiny. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to forget your house keys every single day? Picture a merchant whose only job is to remember to bring his wares, but forgets not only his cauldron, but his mind as well, grumbling to himself about life being as tricky as balancing a basket of figs on his head. Do you think they conducted a survey back then on whether people enjoyed the perpetual confusion of forgetting everything? Or did they just shrug their shoulders and say, "At least I still have my sandals"? Now, imagine waking up in the vibrant heart of Mecca, where the aroma of incense wraps around you like a cozy scarf, and merchants are trying to sell you the latest trend in goat leather sandals. Step right up. Get your goat leather sandals before they go out of style. They're so comfortable you might just forget your troubles and your name. As you stretch and rub the sleep from your eyes, notice the sun rising above the hills, casting a golden hue over the marketplace that hums with life like a beehive in spring. The news of the day passes through the hands of eager merchants, blending with the laughter of children attempting to barter for sweets they can't afford. Truly a spectacle more entertaining than anything on TV. But let's shift our gaze to something a tad more profound. Mercy. Not the kind you extend after stepping on someone's foot, but the encompassing mercy of Allah, which we often overlook like our misplaced shopping list. Surah Al-Fatihah, opening with the verse, "In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate," serves as our morning mantra, beckoning us to let go of our past mistakes and embark on a journey of sincere repentance. Have you ever tried to get a stubborn cat into a box without mercy? It's like attempting to fit the universe into a teacup. But Allah's mercy isn't stingy. It's like a bountiful pizza buffet. endless and delicious, inviting you to take as much as your heart can hold. As you stroll through this ancient marketplace, let's engage in a little thought exercise. Each interaction you have today is a fleeting moment. Will it be an opportunity for mercy or a ticket to grumpiness? The vendor catching your eye, the child tugging at your robe for a sweet treat, all echo with stories of forgiveness waiting to unfold. Let's settle in with a group of early Muslims under an olive tree, their whispers blending like a symphony celebrating belonging. "Will you stop haggling and start sharing?" says one companion, jokingly, as another shuffles through a pile of dates, unconcerned about the price, but more focused on who gets to share the first bite. Isn't it amusing? In a world full of serious faces and heavy dialogues, we often forget laughter is the glue binding our hearts together. Picture a merchant who, while fervently trying to display his finest silk, accidentally spills his jug of water on his head. Instead of despair, he bursts into laughter, declaring, "It's merely an avant-garde experience for my new hair gel." Soon, you find your thoughts reflecting the core essence of Surah Al-Fatihah: destiny, mercy, and the willingness to turn back to Allah. Look around, absorbing the compassion around you. From the boy sharing his dates with an elderly man, to the woman forgiving her neighbor who borrowed but never returned her favorite pot. Each moment reflects a divine thread, weaving through the fabric of their lives, each act of kindness propelling them closer to their true purpose. You might wonder, as you float through this merciful ambiance, about your regrets? They seem as weighty as a stone, don't they? Yet, picture those regret stones slowly melting into soft layers of forgiveness, each moment presenting a chance to embrace a brighter future. Reflect on this. Tomorrow, will you be a reservoir of mercy or a fortress resisting the flowing waters of compassion? Will you extend your hand to those in need or hoard your treasures like a dragon hoarding gold? Embrace the whispers of forgiveness coursing through your heart, metamorphosing you into a beacon of hope. As the backdrop of the thriving marketplace dims into twilight, you now stand illuminated by the mercy you've discovered. With an echo of laughter still resounding in your heart, know that with every act of mercy you embrace, it is not merely transforming the lives around you, it is reshaping your destiny. As we've floated through this soothing river of stories and reflections tonight, may the profound mercy of Allah wrap you in eternal comfort. If you found tonight's journey enlightening, don't forget to give that thumbs up button a gentle nudge. Share this tale with friends who could use a sprinkle of laughter, and subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Only if you really enjoyed it, of course. So, as you drift into slumber, reflect upon the echoes of mercy you've just explored. May your dreams be as sweet as honey, and your heart as light as the first dawn of spring, ready to embrace each day with laughter and kindness. Sleep well. Chapter 16. The Weight of Responsibility. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we humbly embark on a journey more enlightening than your colleague's presentation on stapler efficiency, discovering the profound implications of Surah Al-Fatihah amidst the bustling lives of early Muslims in Mecca. Picture a time when everyone believed their unresolved issues were just a sandstorm away from being forgotten, like those puny gym memberships we all wish we could cancel without shame or consequence. So, while you're nestled in your blankets, contemplating things like whether socks count as pants, just remember the folks in the dusty alleys of Mecca weren't wrestling with who to unfollow on social media. No, sir. They were grappling with the weighty responsibility of their deep sense of faith, one that would roll over them like a friendly mountain of raw hummus. You can almost hear someone exclaim, "I could really get into this spirituality stuff if only it came with extra pita." As you settle in, let your imagination wander back to 610 CE, the heart of Mecca, where the sun shines down like it's auditioning for an Instagram filter. Merchants hawk their wares with such fervor, you'd think they just learned that 99% off was the biggest deal since sliced bread, or in this case, sliced flat bread. The air is filled with the sweet scent of dates mingling with shy whispers of hope. As you walk through the marketplace, can you imagine hearing someone debate if it's better to invest in goat leather sandals or stick to flip-flops? Spoiler alert, sandals win, every time. As you take a breath filled with aromatic spices, think about the responsibility that Surah Al-Fatihah gently bestows upon the believers. That first line, "In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate," isn't just a catchy meme to nail on your wall. It's the framework of a profound relationship with the divine. Imagine if we casually replaced it with, "In the name of the binge-watching God," followed by a Netflix cue. We'd end up lost in seasons instead of reflecting on life's actual weight. Now, picture yourself under the shade of scorching sun with the faithful gathering around. You might hear the occasional joke about how the guy from 2 stalls over always seems to be selling socks at a premium. What will it take for him to understand there's no benefit in scamming good citizens out of their hard-earned dirhams? Turning our thoughts back to that iconic declaration, consider this. Allah is the owner of the Day of Judgment. Every merchant, no matter how crafty, must answer for their choices. Isn't that a thought? Like holding a second-grade report card in a parent-teacher conference, there's nowhere to hide. Al-Fatihah reminds them that their choices are of the utmost importance. There's no room for indecision, and certainly no free passes for those goat leather sandals who fall apart after 2 wears. Yet amidst the weight of this knowledge, there's a soothing balm. Allah's mercy wraps around them like a warm embrace from grandma after a long day. Think of how the souls in Mecca might have felt knowing that their attempts at seeking forgiveness were as endless as grandma's famous stew, always simmering and full of flavor. Now, let's not overlook the practical struggles of daily life. Just like how you might think twice before ordering that hefty pizza with extra toppings, suddenly there's a looming responsibility of if wearing sweatpants to pick it up will somehow reflect your dietary choices for the week. Early Muslims too faced endless little decisions. From what to barter in the market to how best to treat a neighbor. Each act reverberated through their lives, echoing the deeper themes found in Al-Fatihah. So, here you are, drifting through bustling streets, contemplating your choices on a scale comparable to balancing a basket of fresh figs atop your head, or just living life like a wise tortoise, each step a little slower, but meaningful. Just as these early Muslims understood their destiny hinged on every action, you too are invited to ponder how your choices can create ripples in the fabric of life. As these thoughts dance through your mind, the sun dips low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the marketplace. A distant laughter echoes as a child joyfully swings a piece of fabric aloft in triumph, having just successfully bartered for a candy made from dates, an infinitely better deal than questionable store-bought sweets, don't you think? You realize then that you're in charge of your life, wielding the pen that writes your own story. Each moment is a thread in a tapestry of existence, woven through the fabric of humility, mercy, and responsibility. And like the companions of the Prophet who shared laughter over figs while discussing the meaning of life, so too can you forge connections steeped in compassion and understanding. As we ease out of these heartfelt reflections tonight, know that just like the returning desert breeze, the teachings of Allah linger with you as you drift off to slumber. If you found the echoes of responsibility enlightening, maybe even a sprinkle of humor along the way made you smile, don't forget to coax that thumbs up button, share the love, and perhaps subscribe, only if your heart truly enjoyed this cosmic ride. So, as you close your eyes, think about the light guiding you through the night, and may your dreams be sprinkled with wisdom and compassion. Sleep well, dear listeners, as tomorrow unfolds new opportunities to embrace each breath, each moment, and each decision with the sincerity of a believer. Chapter 17. The Anchor of Purpose. Salam alaikum, cherished dreamers. Tonight, as we embark on a journey deeper than your uncle's conspiracy theories about the bread aisle, we immerse ourselves in the divine wisdom of Surah Al-Fatihah, a sacred text that anchored the hopes and prayers of early believers in Mecca, much like your last-minute shopping list anchors your sanity during the holiday rush. Imagine yourself in 610 CE, where life was as chaotic as trying to teach your cat how to fetch. The streets of bustling Mecca are alive with merchants out shouting one another like they're auditioning for The Voice, each echoing promises of unparalleled bargains and the finest camels. You can almost taste the sweetness from the stalls selling fresh dates, a delectable treat wrapped in whispers of faith and community. However, amidst this hubbub, you notice an emptiness, a drifting sense of purpose, akin to realizing your phone's about to die at a crucial moment in the latest episode of your favorite series. In the chaos, Surah Al-Fatihah is revealed, and it's not just poetry, it's the spiritual GPS for the confused and weary hearts. It starts with the powerful incantation of, "In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate." Ponder that for a moment. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could start our meetings at work this way? In the name of the almighty office supplies, the most merciful binders, and the compassionate coffee machine. Yet here, in the heart of Mecca, believers find their very reality wrapped in these words, like a warm shawl in the cool desert night. The opening lines serve as a reminder, just like your favorite morning coffee, that life isn't just about who has the fanciest sandals or the biggest businesses. It all comes down to one pivotal truth: the owner of the Day of Judgment. This vast cosmic weight shifts the metrics of success. Picture the year's biggest sale where the only currency is the approval of the divine. Let's be real, those deals can't beat the ultimate one where your soul earns eternal peace. Now, let's wander through the sandy realms of thought. You might wonder, what was it like for the vendors? Did they gossip while bartering as we do in the age of social media? Did you see that new camel? I hear it's the latest model with four-wheel drive. The truth is, the stakes were higher back then. For early Muslims, life decisions echoed like a game of chess, and every move needed to reflect their relationship with Allah. Think of it as choosing between a pizza topped with anchovies or sticking to classics, except the consequences are exponentially grander. In the meandering alleys filled with vendors, each laugh shared is like a pebble skipping on the surface of a great lake. Yet, even the light-hearted moments remind them of responsibility. The lessons learned through Surah Al-Fatihah became more than just chantings. They were a blueprint, demanding introspection. It was like hearing that nagging voice telling you, "Remember, your choices today become tomorrow's future." Or like continually looking into a refrigerator, wondering if you're hungry, only to discover, like life, you truly have your hands on a rare gem. Picture a group of believers huddled together under the sweltering sun, lost in contemplation. They knew that regardless of the dusty roads they traveled or the merchants haggling over exotic spices, their choices stretched infinitely, like counting the grains of sand on a summer day. Surah Al-Fatihah taught them compassion, guiding their steps not just towards worldly gains, but towards a kingdom beyond sight, a promise of mercy enveloping them like a gentle evening breeze. As the sun dips low against the horizon, laughter ripples through the crowds. Someone, perhaps a child, successfully barters for the best piece of candy, wearing an expression rivaling a dog who's just scored an entire picnic basket. Families discuss their prosperity in shades of love, echoed by an understanding that choosing kindness and purpose always transcends material wealth. Here lies a profound reality for you to ponder. If you pause right now, under the weight of peaceful thoughts, you realize that your actions too write stories in the lives of those around you. Each moment is a brushstroke, crafting a canvas that reflects relational hues of humanity, painted with gentle strokes of mercy and laughter. In this ancient market, each conversation, each shared smile, resonated with an echo of accountability that rings through the ages. You find your thoughts wandering, realizing you have a choice, the weaving of your own narrative, a blend of past efforts and present dreams. And while the universe hums in rhythm, like a well-tuned oud, you recognize the divine purpose that binds all within the tapestry of existence. Yes, dear dreamer, you awaken to the realization that even in the chaos of daily life, a quiet invitation whispers through every beat. Be a vessel of compassion, wisdom, and grace. Your dreams, too, can flourish even amidst uncertainty under the guidance of Surah Al-Fatihah. So, as the stars begin to twinkle like scattered gems across the night sky, and the wind carries with it tales of ancient wisdom, remember that amidst all this flutter and flight, there resides a beautiful truth. Your choices matter. As you drift away into the soft folds of slumber tonight, let the teachings of Surah Al-Fatihah wrap around you like a cozy blanket, gently soothing your mind. If the wisdom we explored together struck a chord in your heart, or maybe even tickled your funny bone, don't forget to flash that thumbs up button, embrace the subscribe option, or perhaps enlighten a friend with this cosmic adventure. Only if your heart truly enjoyed this journey of love and laughter. As you close your eyes, envision the comforting light of Allah guiding your path, and may your dreams be filled with peace, laughter, and a sprinkle of cosmic wisdom. Sleep well, beloved listeners. Chapter 18. The Weight of the World. Salam alaikum, beloved dreamers. Tonight's journey is heavier than that last-minute delivery pizza, but without the grease. Welcome as we dig into the profound wisdom of Surah Al-Fatihah in 610 CE, where divine messages flowed thin like the desert air, and life was filled with uncertainties thicker than a stubborn jar lid. Are you ready? If so, let's psych ourselves up to uncover secrets that would even make your alarm clock think twice about waking you up in the morning. Before we dive in, I invite you to dim those lights, kick back, and nestle into your softest blanket like a well-loved book. Imagine you're cozied up, feeling the air brush gently against your skin, while pondering how early Muslims scrambled through their busy days in Mecca. Did they have wardrobe malfunctions while trying to fit their elaborate robes through a market crowd? Did they barge into shops only to find that the only item in stock was the one no one wanted, like prune juice? Picture yourself down on those vibey streets where every sound resounded like a poorly tuned oud at a surprise concert. You're caught in the throngs, debating between dates and some suspiciously magical elixir claiming to cure everything from headaches to a broken heart. Feeling a bit lightheaded? No worries, darling dreamer. You're officially experiencing Mecca's bustling chaos. Well done. Congratulations. You've just woken up in 610 CE, the year everyone was navigating life without GPS or Waze, relying instead on divine guidance and the occasional shady camel merchant. You step out into the warm sun, and the aroma of roasted nuts wraps you like a warm shawl, though it's more tantalizing than your morning cereal brought to you by the local supermarket. It's here, where the day unfolds, that we encounter a gathering of believers under the intense midday sun, discussing the revelations of Surah Al-Fatihah. And as they munch on those sweet dates, they share their worries. Like, will there ever be a time when they can relax without the burden of their fate hanging in the air? Good question, isn't it? Let's talk about fear. It slithers into our lives like a snake in an empty corner. Back in Mecca, worries transcended ordinary frustrations. Did anyone have a calamity waiting just around the corner? Maybe it was a last-minute drop-in from Uncle Abu, known for his unsolicited life advice, or perhaps an acute shortage of mint tea. Chaos, indeed. Yet the blessings hidden in Surah Al-Fatihah began unraveling their anxieties thread by thread, revealing a comforting truth. Allah owns the Day of Judgment, a huge cosmic blueprint that reassured them like a solid hug from their mom after a long day at work. Imagine the tension easing away like steam from a pot that was on the verge of boiling over. This understanding, which is akin to that relieving moment of finally getting a bad joke, was life-altering. It wasn't just about surviving each day's struggles. It's about relinquishing what we can't control. Picture it. While most folks were sweating about the bills piling up more drastically than that mountain of laundry you left untouched, they found peace. No grain of sand slips past the intricate plan of the one controlling not just the seen realms, but also those invisible threads weaving through life outside their awareness. Can you imagine worrying over a speck of dust during a windstorm, while you perk up and marvel at the powerful message of Surah Al-Fatihah? Think about how their worries morphed from panic mode to acceptance. As you stroll through the bustling market, laughter and chit-chat echo like whispers of camaraderie among the crowd. Did you hear about Saeed's goat? Yeah, it chose the battle over the last carrot. This light-hearted banter is a testament to faith intertwined with joy, even as they navigated roads lined with challenges. These exchanges drip with layers of wisdom, often ushered in through earnest prayer, because who wouldn't wish for a little divine intervention while juggling life's fireballs? The truth of Al-Fatihah shone bright like a solar flare. When Allah opened the door to understanding that He holds dominion over all, early Muslims realized those troubling obstacles were but stepping stones. Surah Al-Fatihah isn't just an eloquent piece of text. It's a soothing balm against the soul's burdens, urging them to not just survive, but thrive. So here you are, drifting away into the realms of self-reflection, embracing the calming thoughts of surrender. It's like your inner GPS recalibrating, adjusting from panic to purpose. Have you tried switching mental gears like this? Pause with me and appreciate how, even amidst chaos, you have the power to shift the conversation from worry to trust. In this moment of profound simplicity, when the moon begins to climb high into the vast desert sky, let your burdens be washed away with the thoughts of hope and reassurance. Releasing control over what's outside your grasp isn't merely delicate, it's liberating. Here in Mecca, around the cozy campfires, the flickering flames dance like spirits encouraging you. Even worry takes a back seat when you grasp the finality of Allah's divine blueprint. As you fade deeper into a slumbering trance, may the teachings of Surah Al-Fatihah cloak you in warmth, shedding the weight of turmoil like an outgrown coat. If tonight's exploration resonated as profoundly as a soothing lullaby, consider hitting that thumbs up button or gently sharing this journey with a friend. Only if your heart calls for it. May the light of Allah guide you into serene dreams, filling your night with peace, laughter, and the gentle promise that you are never alone on this path. Sleep tight, cherished listeners, and awaken refreshed and renewed. Chapter 19. The Owner of the Day of Judgment. Salam alaikum, dear dreamers. Tonight's journey is about as calming as the smell of fresh baklava wafting through a quiet cafe, yet still just spicy enough to keep your attention. So put on your imaginary seatbelts and brace yourselves to explore Surah Al-Fatihah, where divine wisdom provides comfort thicker than a yogurt parfait. Before we dive in, why not dim those lights and toss on a comfy blanket like a cozy pillow fort? Can you feel your shoulders drop as you settle in? Heavenly. Now, let's ponder a few cheeky questions. Have you ever wondered if ancient Meccans had as many social faux pas as we do at family gatherings? I mean, did they also ask relatives about their latest questionable choices over the evening tea? And what about wardrobe issues? Did they endlessly adjust their flowing robes like we fuss over pants that are just a bit too tight after a hearty meal? Ah, the shared struggles of humanity. Picture this. Congratulations! You've just woken up in 610 CE, when faith was a fresh concept older than yesterday's leftovers, but still ripening with possibilities. You step outside into the golden light of dawn, greeted by the bustling market of Mecca, where the hustle and hustle are like an endless stream of dates rolling downhill. Quite the sight. The air is thick with scents that might remind you of your grandmother's famous stew, but not quite the same. Each sound is a tapestry of chatter, bartering, and the occasional cawing of seagulls fighting over yesterday's bread. It's in this lively setting that a crowd gathers, eager to discuss the profound messages hidden deep within Surah Al-Fatihah. As the sun climbs higher, so do their worries. How can they secure divine mercy when life throws curveballs that would make any modern-day soap opera look like child's play? It's a fair concern, right? Let's talk about the essence of life: fear. It creeps in like an uninvited guest at a party. Awkward, and frankly, a little tiring. Back in Mecca, their fears ranged from, what if my neighbor's goat keeps chewing my best shirt, to, will my loan shark actually charge interest? Yet, all of these concerns began to melt away as the soothing truths of Surah Al-Fatihah seeped into their hearts. Allah, the owner of the Day of Judgment, emerges as a guiding light, assuring them that He is also the ultimate forgiver. A poetic duality that feels like having your cake and eating it too, but without the calories, of course. Can you imagine how chaotic it must have felt to relinquish heavy burdens and trivial worries, akin to finally letting go of that unflattering outfit you've meant to toss for ages? While most were pacing about like chickens in a coop, fretting over groceries and monthly expenses, a calm realization washed over them like a gentle desert breeze. Allah has your back. Understanding that He is in control, holding dominion over the day of judgment, transformed their worries into delightful whispers of tranquility that you can almost hear on a still evening. As you wander through the colorful bazaar, you might catch snippets of conversations. Did you catch that trader flipping his dates like a circus performer? Or, how many blessings can we count if one good deed erases 10 bad ones? The spirit of community thrummed through the crowds, reminding each heart that they are not alone. Wandering from stall to stall, laughter rang out like a melody, upholding the beautiful truth that life's trials were but stepping stones to understanding Allah's grace. Surah Al-Fatihah beautifully reassures that for every misdeed, there's a chance for a new beginning. It's almost like being handed free refills of your favorite drink, where each drop fills you with hope instead of despair. Picture it: the sun setting behind the sand dunes, casting delicate shadows as it whispers sweet promises. Don't fret, tomorrow is a new day, and I'm here. Through this acceptance, the conversations shifted from living in anxiety to embracing faith. Each prayer became a soothing balm, urging them from survival mode to a vibrant, fulfilling existence. Feel that warmth envelop you too. Allow it to seep deep as the sun disappears, leaving only the stars to twinkle like divine guidance stitching the night sky together. So you find yourself softening, drifting deeper into self-acceptance. Imagine a gentle current cradling you in a moment of reflection. Have you ever wondered how accepting the unseen and relinquishing control could alter your perspective? Picture it. You're in a cozy circle by a fire, and while those around you exchange stories, you're all in tune with a shared understanding. True peace comes from faith, and faith is nurtured through community. As you sink deeper into the soothing fabric of this tale, remember that letting go doesn't diminish your strength. Instead, it leads you to a brighter journey ahead. And suddenly, life feels more vibrant than ever. The night air is ripe with hope, welcoming you into a world woven intricately by the fine threads of divine mercy. As you drift further into slumber, I hope tonight's exploration of Surah Al-Fatihah warms your heart like a gentle hug on a chilly evening. If this journey resonated with you, consider giving that thumbs up a little nudge or sharing this experience with a friend. Just a humble request, only if your heart sings for it. May the light of Allah guide you softly into dreams filled with serenity and laughter, reminding you that you are embraced by His grace always. Sleep well, cherished listeners, and awaken renewed and ready to embrace each beautiful day ahead. Chapter 20. A Covenant of Care. Salam alaikum, dear dreamers. Tonight's journey is as refreshing as a mint tea on a sleepy afternoon, but just a tad whiskier. Imagine sipping a cup while dodging the tossing of the latest gossip from the neighborhood spice market. Are you ready to explore the profound depths of Surah Al-Fatihah, a scriptural jewel embedded right at the heart of our sacred texts? If so, let's make sure the lights are dimmed, the calming aroma of sandalwood wafts about your space, and you're snuggled like a cat in a sunny corner. Now, let's indulge a little, shall we? Have you ever pondered what ancient Meccans grumbled about in the mornings? Why is my camel always unhappy? Or, did I mix dates with salt again? And how many of them attempted to impress neighbors by showing off their latest, absurdly oversized robes? Life back then must have included a fair share of wardrobe malfunctions as everyone stepped out, ready to wow and flabbergast in equal measure. Picture this. Congratulations! You've just woken up in 610 CE, when the mundane dance of life in Mecca was unfolding. The skies are painted with hues that resemble a traditional mosaic, and bustling traders fill the marketplace like ants scurrying for sugar. As vendors haggle over the price of figs and figs alike, you wonder if they had their own version of keeping up with the Joneses, or should it be keeping up with the camels? As you step through the lively streets, you feel the electric energy ripple through the throngs of people, discussing the deeper meanings of life in what may seem like a never-ending circus of human expression. Amongst this cacophony, a charismatic figure emerges. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He's there, stirring hearts and minds, passionately sharing wisdom nestled within the verses of the Quran. Imagine the wide-eyed awe surrounding him. Now, let's talk about the most iconic declaration in Surah Al-Fatihah. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. It's like a cosmic contract, a sweet marriage proposal between the servant and the Lord of the worlds, no doubt with a few side glances between camel owners, wondering if love is in the air for them as well. You might wonder, what does that even mean? Well, dear sleepyheads, this is the essence of our covenant, intertwined in a binding agreement that transcends the mere act of worship. It's like ordering the most exquisite meal at your favorite restaurant, and knowing that every bite will leave you satisfied because you chose it with tenderness and consideration. Let's meander through this delightful theme of devotion and self-sufficiency. Back in vibrant Mecca, among all the trades and travails, people grappled with existential questions that would have baffled even the wisest of philosophers. How do I fix my neighbor's history of goats nibbling on my garden? Or, is it too late to start on my very good day list to remind myself that I didn't set my whole lunch on fire? As the crowds gathered to absorb these profound spiritual truths, they slowly began to relinquish their anxieties, fears evaporating like morning mist under the sun's warm embrace. Just think about it. The realization that Allah, the owner of the Day of Judgment, is also the ultimate forgiver is like finding a hidden stash of well-aged dates in your coat pocket while losing your mind over forgotten shopping lists. Imagine the gentle buzz of realization rolling through the crowd, the murmurs transforming their worries into sweet sounds of laughter as they chuckled together. You know, if we consider the confidence bestowed upon us in our relationship with Allah, perhaps my neighbor will finally return my best robe. With every recitation of Surah Al-Fatihah, the people found not only solace, but a refreshing breeze that stirred the depths of their souls. Regardless of their missteps, they understood that each plea for help would be met with loving compassion, a gesture akin to being wrapped in a soft shawl on a chilly night, a universal embrace radiating warmth. As they settled into this newfound comfort, conversations shifted with an air of jubilance. Have you heard? A good deed is worth 10 times its weight. So, not only did they rejoice over the simple joys of community, the laughter, camaraderie, and the occasional neighborly ribbing, but they also began to celebrate the blessings bestowed upon them, swallowing worries whole as they inspired others to do the same. The sun began to dip behind the dunes, wrapping the day in golden hues, casting shadows that danced around them. It was here, suspended in the calmness of acceptance, that their fears began to shimmer and dissipate, much like the last rays of sunlight, inviting an embrace of faith, a faith powerful enough to spark a sense of belonging that feels as comforting as good company on a lazy afternoon. And as night wrapped its wings around them, they sought not just forgiveness, but alignment, feeling lighter than the woolen robes that kept them warmer than expected during the harshness of the desert nights. And you, sweet dreamer, may just find yourself in harmonious silence, reminding you of those ancient souls united by a shared realization of the divine, a soft call to reflect on your own offerings and worries. Remember, too, that letting go of burdens doesn't weaken you. Rather, it's that gentle acceptance guiding you towards elevated joy, joy that calls for a peaceful surrender into sleep. As this night unfolds and lulls you into slumber, may the echo of Surah Al-Fatihah resonate within, warming your heart like a cozy blanket on a chilly evening. If you found tonight's story a source of comfort and clarity, perhaps give that thumb a gentle tap, or share this tranquil journey with a friend, only if your heart is as full as your belly after a good feast. May Allah's light envelop you in dreams woven with serenity, guiding you gently toward fresh beginnings and radiant tomorrows. Sleep well, cherished listeners, for a new dawn awaits you, brimming with promise and possibility. Chapter 21. Worship, the heart's power tool. Salam alaikum, dear dreamers. Tonight, we're embarking on a journey thicker than the fog of morning in a bustling Meccan alley, stuffed with heady aromas that could make your nostrils do a little dance of delight. Well, perhaps not the kind of dance that embarrasses you in front of your in-laws, but the one where you might just lose track of time, tempted by the lures of honey-drenched pastries and generalized gossip about the resident camel beauty contests. As we plummet backward in time to 610 CE in early Islam, let me ask, have you ever sat at your dinner table, gazing at a kaleidoscope of dishes, and thought to yourself, why did I decide to cook 7 different main courses when all I really wanted was a humble bowl of cereal? Or pondered what it's like for your neighbor with too many goats who is convinced they are all distantly related? Did she overdo it on the goat parenting handbook? Picture this. Congratulations! You've just woken up in a world where people call the hot sun the eye of the Creator, but you're sweating so much that you'd think it was trying to cook you. Your skin feels like an overcooked fig as you step out into the lively streets of Mecca, where camel drivers barter as if doing some sort of bizarre interpretive dance, waving their hands in the air, declaring, "For your finest woven robe, what can you offer? 3 camels, just look at that soft fabric." Among this delightful chaos, life is punctuated by challenges deeper than your pot roast after 3 hours of cooking. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passionately shares wisdom, breaking down the shackles of worldly obsessions as if they were yesterday's bread. Ah, the irony of chasing nonsense, you might chuckle to yourself. Indeed, worship is like a properly sized belt after a feast. It pulls together everything, and you certainly need not feel so loose. Now, sit back while we dig into one of the most tantalizing concepts of our journey tonight, the act of worship. A treasure that purifies hearts quicker than a dousing of cold water after a long day. It's not just about putting a coin in the charity box or saying your prayers like it's a 9-to-5 gig. It's about declaring that the center of your life revolves around the worship of God. So, let's peel apart this divine onion, one layer at a time, in the bustling Meccan marketplace filled with chattering neighbors and gleaming pottery vendors, reminding you how worship permeates both private whispers and public deeds. Imagine that scene. Folks going about their daily grind, probably grumbling, "That shopkeeper surely doesn't know the difference between a pear and a peach." But deep down, they're wondering, how do I even reconcile my fears while wrestling with these metaphysical questions? With every heartfelt utterance of, "You alone we worship," something profound emerges. Recognition that you're part of a cosmic narrative just waiting to be unspooled. Does your inner critic suddenly find relevance? Like a crow sitting on a fence while you try to discipline your perturbed, pot-bellied cat? You realize worship transforms your trivial worries into empowering actions, akin to a tired cat finding a sunny spot after a rainy day. As you stroll through the lively lanes, the realization washes over you like the gentle waves that caress the shores of the Red Sea. The act of worship is both humbling and sublime, a sweet melody that harmonizes your very existence, making you realize you are never alone on this journey. The universe has your back, just like that faithful old dog always up for an adventure or snacks. Now, let's take a humorous detour. Worshipping God can feel a bit like trying to assemble IKEA furniture without the manual. There's plenty of confusion, awkward guesses, and occasionally your pet cat shows you how it was meant to be done. But when everything clicks into place, you swiftly find joy as smooth as a honey-coated date rolling lovingly into your hands. Yes please. So picture these early Meccans as they gather around, letting go of their petty grievances. For every squabble about goats or grain recedes like the tide, embracing the essence of their existence in a cozy circle of light. Through worship, they gain strength unshakable, a bond that transcends fleeting squabbles and evaporates even the most stubborn anxieties like morning dew under the blistering sun. As their laughter dances through the fabric of the evening air, they share these revelations, an infectious optimism spreading like the day's last rays over the desert horizon. Who knew? My heart felt so crowded before. Now I feel lighter than the feather of a newly hatched chick. It appears worship isn't just a task. It's the ultimate tool for heart renovation. And so, as night settles in, the landscape glows, and you can't help but sense the spaciousness of a heart purged of worldly obsessions, social pressures, and all that pesky ego. Remember, it's in these beautifully chaotic acts of worship where you reconnect with the gravitational pull of existence itself, unbinding those tangled strings that tether you down. You gently surrender to the flow, drifting closer to that serene understanding that encompasses all. As the stars twinkle like an elegant orchestra awaiting its cue, may you too be wrapped in that divine harmony, releasing what no longer serves you. As this chapter draws to a calm close, may the echoes of worship lay softly upon your heart and guide you into a peaceful slumber, much like a lullaby sung by the moon itself. If tonight's journey felt like a blanket of soothing comfort, perhaps even tickled your fancy, give that green thumbs up a gentle tap. Subscribe to stay cozy, or share this moment with a friend, but only if you genuinely enjoyed the ride. Sleep well, cherished listeners. May tomorrow dawn bright, buzzing with possibilities, and illuminated with joy. Chapter 22, Anchoring the Heart, Divine Strength Unleashed. Salam alaikum, dear dreamers. Tonight we dive into something sturdier than your neighbor's favorite garden gnome, which has been standing guard against the odd, marauding squirrel for years. It's the quintessence of reliance on Allah, fresh from the 7th century bakery of divine wisdom. Imagine a world so engrossed in overcooked lentil soup and lively, exuberant debates over who can theorize the best method of camel trading that the very act of life itself becomes a juggling act worthy of the best circus. As we plummet deeper into the sands of time, what if I told you there's nothing quite like anchoring your heart amid the churning currents of life? You might be wondering, how on earth do I do that without losing my marbles or my favorite sandals in the process? Or perhaps you're pondering the unique dilemmas of crafting a heartfelt prayer while dodging your cousin's overzealous goat who thinks your prayer mat is the perfect sleeping spot. Picture this. Congratulations. You've just woken up in 610 CE when bedtime stories took a turn for the miraculous, nestled against the backdrop of early Islam in Mecca. The air is thick with the scent of spices that harmonize like a collective sigh of relief in the sweltering heat. Like your awkward first attempt at yoga, this would be a practice of balance, stretching the boundaries of both body and soul. Now let's set the scene. The bustling streets of Mecca envelop you, vibrant with merchants crying their wares in a crescendo of laughter, sweat, and alarming amounts of camel chatter. You find yourself amidst a lively crowd, with people arguing passionately, probably over whether to make bread with honey or dates, while someone in the corner loudly declares, "3 camels for this robe? That's as absurd as trying to sell ice to a polar bear." As you navigate this kaleidoscope of culture, deeper problems flicker just beneath the surface, like trying to catch a stubborn fly with one hand while balancing a plate of flaky baklava in the other. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stands at the heart of it all, a beacon of wisdom, challenging the status quo like a lone champion at a goat race, accidentally folding a prayer mat into the shape of a feast while doing so. "Ah, the beauty of taking refuge in the divine," he utters, as an awe-inspiring refrain begins to echo through the crowd. Worship is the anchor for your heart, a sturdy boat that floats above the chaos. And with this statement, someone in the back grumbles, "I thought this holy wisdom was supposed to be about fishing." A chuckle rolls through the crowd, relieving the tension as you find your footing among people seeking meaning in this tempestuous sea of life. Let's unpeel this divine concept. Your heart, my dear listener, much like a stubborn cat snuggling into the comfiest corner, finds comfort when it turns to the Almighty, replacing your woes with consistent beams of light and purpose. Noticing that your heart can indeed feel like a flat, overcooked pancake while roaming a chaotic market deepens the humor. But don't fret. All is well when your soul is securely tethered to the infinite. Why not imagine that heart of yours becoming as fortified as the castle of old, one that even time and trials cannot shake? You might be chuckling now, realizing that this is more effective than knitting with spaghetti. If worship is the prayer mat, reliance on Allah becomes the cushy sofa you settle into after a long day, inviting you to drop the worries that trespass into your mind like a cheeky raccoon feasting on last night's leftovers. Picture, as the sun descends, the glow casting warmth over the majestic Kaaba, where believers reclaim the energy of hope and steadfastness. With every utterance of, "You alone we rely upon," a shimmering light wraps around your heart, making it feel warmer than the hug of an overzealous grandma proclaiming her famous brownies are calorie-free. We all know that secret isn't true, but we love her anyway. These early Meccans thus share stories of their own heart's victories, giggling among themselves while scheming ways to send their worries packing. To navigate the scenarios of this life, one may quip, is like riding a unicycle on a tightrope, while simultaneously juggling sheep. But oh, how joyous it becomes when tethered to Allah. As the night grows deeper and the stars awaken, you bask in this newfound realization. Reliance on God transforms your mundane struggles into a tale far richer and calming than any chaotic bedtime story could whip up. It's like upgrading your hot tea to a soothing chamomile blend. Absolute clarity achieved amid the night's uncertainties, where every prayer and worship becomes your gentle hand guiding you on, just like that final piece of baklava melting on your tongue. The laughter swirling around you mingles with the vibrant notes of hope, echoing the sentiment that we're never truly alone. Just like that furry cat who knows the precise moment to snatch the last bite of fish, your heart learns to trust that each act of worship steadies it, a delightful reminder of your eternal connection with the divine. So as this chapter concludes, dear dreamers, let your heart unfurl like the wings of a butterfly soaring through the galaxy, unshaken by the winds of worldly worries. Embrace the serenity and strength weaving into your soul as you drift toward slumber. As we gently float away on the ethereal whispers of dependence on the Almighty, may the anchors of faith hold you fast, guiding you softly into dreams. If tonight's journey felt like being wrapped in a cloud of coziness, perhaps even brought a smile to your face, do give that thumbs up a loving tap. Subscribe if you'd like to sail along further, and share this adventure with a friend, but only if it tickled your
fancy. Sleep well, cherished listeners. May tomorrow greet you with warm rays of hope and bubbling possibilities.
Chapter 23. Seeking Divine Assistance, the Heart's First Step. Salam alaikum, dear night owls. Tonight, we embark on a whimsical journey through a tapestry woven with the threads of faith, quirky characters, and, brace yourselves, some rather unexpected bathroom humor from the sands of 610 CE. Picture, if you will, a time when camels were the main mode of transportation, akin to how you depend on your trustworthy old sedan, and when seeking divine help was less of a last-minute Hail Mary and more a casual dinner party chat with your best friend. Before we plunge into this exhilarating sandy saga, take a moment, if you will, to dim those lights. Set the ambiance just right, like you're preparing for a first date with a particularly spicy kebab. And yes, while you're at it, chuck those worries like someone tossing scented candles in a bonfire. Now, let me ask you, have you ever found yourself shouting at a stubborn printer that just won't work when all you need is to print a birthday card? If you have, then you know it's like trying to commune with your neighbor's cat about the finer points of the universe. Utterly fruitless. Or maybe you've set the living room couch as your throne while contemplating whether to make a salad or simply devour the remaining pizza, because God forbid you let leftovers go bad. Have you ever pondered why grocery store lines feel like a form of medieval torture? Waiting with nothing but your thoughts and that one magazine you didn't really want to read? How to Train Your Llama. Really? Congratulations! You've just woken up in 610 CE, navigating the bustling streets of Mecca, where not even sheep are safe from the occasional scheme to make an extra dirham or two. The tantalizing scents of spices swirl through the air as vendors bicker over who sold the most dates that morning. The locals are wildly animated, bartering so fiercely that you half expect someone to challenge another to a game of camel chess to settle the matter. Jostling through this human kaleidoscope, you spot none other than our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, standing beneath a palm tree, looking slightly bemused. Seeking Allah's assistance, he seems to say, is your first step, not the last desperate resort, like deciding whether to use ketchup on your biryani. The sun beats down mercilessly, casting hilariously awkward shadows and turning frizzy hair into finger-sized wind turbines. It's clear that the landscape here is not for the faint of heart or hair. But worry not. Just as you reach for that bottled water, the Prophet continues. Embrace sincerity in action with reliance, like pairing your morning coffee with just the right amount of sugar. Too much will keep you bouncing off the walls like a cat on a hot tin roof. Imagine this, your heart, a balloon, bobbing gently in the gentle desert breeze. Each time you throw that prayer into the universe, it inflates just a little more. Close your eyes and feel that buoyancy. You'll collect all these beautiful moments, like mismatched socks in the laundry. They'll be essential in shaping a destiny far brighter than that unseasoned rice you experimented with last week. Now, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Relying on Allah is akin to strapping on your imaginary superhero cape, because wouldn't that be fabulous? And believing that every action you take, no matter how small, like putting on matching socks, counts. Imagine embarking on a grand adventure on a trusty steed, only to realize you're aboard a rather stubborn donkey instead. That's life, isn't it? Sometimes the path seems laughably absurd. Here in Mecca, as folks indulge in acrobatics of faith and faithlessness alike, the chorus of daily life echoes loudly around you. The chatty merchants seem so eager to outbid one another that you feel like you're at a family reunion where Uncle Ahmed tries to brag about his latest collection of vintage rug stains. "This one tells the story of my cat's last haircut," he exclaims with pride. Ah, the joys of family dynamics. As evening draws near and the sky blushes a pastel pink, every heart swells a little more with every utterance of, "We rely on you alone." Can you feel it? It wraps around you like your favorite blanket, snug and comforting. The gentle hum of evening conversations mingles with the faint echoes of laughter and divine wisdom resounding through the masses. Picture the beautiful Kaaba, slowly becoming a serene sight under the starlit sky. The faithful flocking in waves amidst currents of hope, joy, and yes, maybe even that lurking goat from earlier, forever seeking to commandeer someone's snack. With each heartfelt declaration, your spirit lights up brighter than a lamp in a midnight oil factory. Seeking Allah's assistance, you realize, is less about treatment for desperate times and more about what we can accomplish together, significantly, if we share the journey, like being hand in hand, or hoof if necessary, with future experiences awaiting you. So as the night deepens and you find your place among the flickering candles, feel your heart catch the laughter swirling around you like grains of sand on a gentle wind. Embrace the lightness that comes with reliance on Allah, and allow it to calm the countless worries that gnaw at the edges of your slumber. As we whisper good night, dear dreamers, may the reassuring breaths of reliance guide you into that peaceful realm where dreams meet the joys of faith. And as you drift towards the horizon of slumber, remember that tomorrow brings renewed purpose, anchored in the love that whispers through the pages of history. If this little journey tickled your fancy and transported you to another world, consider sprinkling some joy. Tap that thumbs up button like it's your favorite dessert. And feel free to subscribe if you'd like to ride along on more of life's
Quirky escapades. Until next time, sleep well, cherished adventurers. May the night cradle you with sweetness and serenity. Chapter 24. The Urgent Request, Seeking Guidance to the Straight Path. Salam alaikum, dear night owls. Welcome back to another adventure that's cooler than a chilled drink in the scorching heat of the Arabian desert. Tonight, we dive into a timeless script of life, loss, and laughter, all while weaving in the divine wisdom of Surah Al-Fatihah. Imagine prayer and serenity mingling amongst unexpected comic relief, as if you've stumbled upon a stand-up routine in the middle of a meditation retreat. So, have you ever had one of those moments when you realized you'd been praying for your neighbor's feral cat to stop howling at night? What if the Almighty would rather you focus on finding that pesky creature a home instead? Or perhaps you've had to decide whether to give a colleague your famous cookie recipe during a heated bake-off. Talk about high stakes. But just imagine, what if you were navigating the crowded streets of 610 CE, where the stakes were higher than a camel's back on a good hair day? As evening settles in, picture the sun perfectly setting over the horizon, casting mesmerizing hues across the sandy landscape. In our cozy moment together, let's dim those lights, switch on that gentle fan, and snuggle into our blankets. Get comfy, and let me ask you an absurd series of questions. What would it be like to barter for a sack of flour using your best heartfelt prayer? Could you picture a sheep getting offended over being named Lamb Chop? Ever wondered if people debated about which direction to face while making dua? Thank goodness there's no Yelp for blessings in 610 CE. Now, congratulations. You've just woken up in the bustling heart of Mecca, where sandstorms and social dramas are just part of daily life. As you look around, a cacophony of voices fills the air, merchants bickering over dates and pomegranates nearby. You can feel the excitement woven through bustling bazaars as whispers of spiritual matters intermingle with the vibrant chatter. As you shuffle through the throng, you find yourself drawn to none other than the respected Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, casually leaning against a palm tree. He looks slightly perplexed,
perhaps pondering whether he should have agreed to that third cup of coffee. But no matter, there's an urgent request pulsing beneath the surface. Guide us to the straight path. Now, what does this actually mean? In this vibrant setting, imagine the enormity of seeking guidance. It isn't just a polite request, it's a heartfelt yearning, a warm embrace between the seeker and the divine. Imagine it as asking the universe for GPS coordinates, only instead of taking a wrong turn onto old camel trail, you're navigating divine wisdom. The sun's rays dance across the sky, and it seems as if the stars themselves are winking down at you. Here, you ruminate on the nature of guidance. In the heart of every human, there's a flickering light, the nudge of divine clarity, nudging you toward purpose. Think of it as a soul-renewing hot cocoa on a chilly night, a divine comfort that remains even when the storms of life rage on. As you observe melodrama unfolding a few feet away, a peddler tries to sell some dubious herbal remedy that promises to cure everything from a broken heart to squeaky camels. You can't help but chuckle with the locals, sharing knowing glances as someone calls out, "The only remedy we need is a heartfelt prayer and a little direction." And just as laughter fills the air, the gentle wisdom of the prophet continues to resonate, reminding you that seeking guidance is more than just words. It's about action. It's about steadying the heart amidst life's adversities, like a skilled baker navigating a particularly tricky soufflé. Bake it with faith, and it will rise. With every utterance of, "We rely on you alone," you can feel a brimming joy rushing through the crowd, like the scent of freshly baked bread, wrapping everyone in a cozy embrace. It's here, amidst all the lively chatter, you realize that guidance is a shared experience, a connection made stronger as hearts unite in a quest for clarity. Now, picture this moment. As the sun dips lower and the warm, rich colors of dusk envelop you, you glance at the Kaaba, an image that captures time and space, lighting up in ethereal beauty. The energy is remarkable, as countless souls gather, each whispering prayers and dreams, sharing hopes and joys like a giant cosmic family picnic. In your mind, it strikes you. What if every step you take, every sincere prayer, carries you closer to a destiny brilliantly designed? You could be just a simple heart, an unassuming figure riding the wild waves of life. But with divine guidance, you become like an ovation at a sold-out concert, powerful yet gentle, rising above the noise. As evening descends upon Mecca and the tapestry of stars paints your surroundings, let the reassurance of reliance on Allah cradle your heart. Step bravely into the world, where questions blend with laughter, hope collides with reality, and every sincere prayer pulls you closer to the path of righteousness. So, as your eyelids grow heavier and the allure of slumber beckons, carry this wisdom with you. Life's challenges are mere stepping stones on your journey. Be bold in your pursuit of guidance. Laugh amidst the turmoil, and cherish every moment of connection with the divine. And as the night wraps you in its peaceful embrace, remember that tomorrow is a new dawn, an opportunity to unlock the hidden power of faith. If tonight's little adventure tickled your fancy and filled your heart with warmth, don't forget to tap that thumbs up button like it's the world's best baklava. Share a comment about what brought you joy. It nourishes our quirky community. Until we meet again, dear dreamers, may Allah's guidance walk with you, and may your sleep be as peaceful as a cool breeze on a warm desert night. Sleep well, cherished adventurers. Chapter 25. The Divine Showdown. Humility versus Arrogance. Salam alaikum, my sweet dreamers of the night. Close your eyes and let your mind drift into a world that is far, far away, but somehow feels all too familiar. Tonight, we're stepping into the vibrant year of 610 CE, amidst the bustling streets of Mecca, a time when the sun felt just a bit hotter, the sand a little saltier, and the stakes of life were nothing short of epic. Think about it. It's like the ancient world meets the Roman Empire, but with fewer sandwiches and more spirituality. Now, before we dive deeper than a cat in a bowl of milk, let me ask you, ever find yourself standing in line at the grocery store, realizing that the person ahead of you could possibly consider a bag of chips a full meal? Or how about when your cat gives you that look, as if to say, "I've been meaning to discuss our contract, specifically, where are my snacks?" Picture living in a time when seeking guidance was like trying to order a coffee without knowing what a coffee actually was. You'd have to approach the wise elders, or perhaps the occasional local busybody who had all the opinions, but none of the facts. What happens then? Do you play it cool, or do you risk sounding like you're trying to debate whether goats or sheep are the superior livestock? Congratulations! You've just woken up in the heart of Mecca, where intrigue is mixed with a spoonful of camel traffic jams and market haggles. Here, people are bustling about, keen on engaging in spirited debates over the price of honey or the best way to barter for that last jug of olive oil. The aroma of dates, spices, and gossip wafts through the air like a familiar, comforting blanket. But wait, it's not all honey and high spirits, because lurking beneath this vibrant surface is a world grappling with its deepest dilemmas. You touch the smooth stone wall of a nearby building, grounding yourself in this reality. In this sweeping, crowded landscape, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emerges like a beacon of hope. His task not merely to sell fine silk or trade spices, but to navigate the tricky waters of people's minds and hearts. Amidst this chaos, a divine warning resonates like a sudden thunderstorm. Imagine this. "O you who have believed, seek guidance with humility." Oh, how relatable. Do you remember that one friend who insists on sharing their unsolicited opinions about everything, including the latest flavor of hummus? It's as if they believe they hold the key to eternal enlightenment. But here's the kicker. Arrogance and ignorance often walk hand in hand, like two lost sheep. As you watch the people around you, it becomes apparent that the real battle lines are drawn. On one side, there stands arrogance, like a peacock strutting around, assuming it owns the whole barnyard. On the other is ignorance, like that friend who insists they've found the next best thing in fashion, only to show up wearing socks with sandals. You've seen this combo before. One proclaiming, "I know better," while the other, obliviously lost, raises their hand for a hearty, "I'm not even sure what I'm doing here." At this moment, you feel a shiver of recognition run through your being. The path to salvation weaves through humility and the constant quest for knowledge. It's less about knowing all the answers and more about gracefully acknowledging when you don't. Picture it. You're standing in the bustling market, and instead of shouting, "I'm always right," you can proclaim, "Help me find the right stall for this trade." How magnetic is that approach? As day turns to night and rials flow like water across the souks, the ambiance builds. The laughter of children mingles with the chatter of merchants, and the soft glow of lanterns cast gentle shadows, wrapping the night in a cloak of warmth and serenity. The Prophet's teachings ripple through the crowd, urging them to reflect. Which path will you choose? The one paved in fallible arrogance, or the open road of humility, where every ounce of wisdom calls for help? The vastness of the teachings flows around you, much like a soothing wave as the stars begin twinkling in approval above. You contemplate the idea that true wisdom isn't waiting at the finish line, but is hidden in the daily grind. With each struggle comes divine strength. With each laugh, Ubuntu, a connection that weaves everyone's hearts together, showing us our shared human folly and beauty. Let's pause and visualize. Everyone is staring at the Kaaba, hands raised in prayer. Not a single cell phone in sight, just pure intention and vulnerability. Such simplicity is often masked in our modern era of endless notifications and loud distractions. So, as the whispers of ignorance retreat into the desert night, and hearts once laden with arrogance soften like warm clay in the hands of a skillful potter, you realize this. Salvation lies not just in seeking knowledge, but in seeking it humbly, with an open heart, ready to be molded into something beautiful. And if you dare to embrace this wisdom, you find yourself cradled gently in that embrace of divinity, flowing serenely into the heart of a universe that embraces you back, a sacred dance under a starry blanket. A place where each laugh, each heartfelt prayer, helps find purpose in this cosmic jumble we call life.
And now, as the echoes of the divine words settle softly in your heart, as the verses of Al-Fatihah fade into a peaceful stillness, and as the wisdom of centuries gently wraps itself around your thoughts, let your breath slow, and let the calm of this moment wash over you. Tonight, we walked through meanings that shape civilizations, guiding prophets, scholars, kings, and ordinary souls through trials, joys, losses, and rebirths. We explored a chapter so short it fits on a single line, yet so vast it contains the architecture of the entire human journey, from confusion to clarity, from fear to trust, from wandering to guidance. We felt the yearning of hearts that recited these 7 verses in the darkest nights, seeking mercy, direction, hope, and healing. We saw the seekers who spent lifetimes unlocking each layer, discovering that every word contains a map back to the one who never leaves his servants alone. We witnessed that even in the hardest eras, war, famine, exile, heartbreak, people held on to this surah like a lantern that never goes out. And through it all, they found strength, resilience, humility, and a love profound enough to reshape the way they lived their entire lives. So now, as you lie safely in your warm bed, wrapped not only in blankets, but in awareness, gratitude, and quiet understanding, take a moment to feel at peace. No kings to fear, no deserts to cross, no battles to fight. Just the soft assurance that you are guided, watched over, and deeply known. Let the worries of today melt away. Let the night settle softly around you. Let your heart rest in the remembrance that the one who guided generations before you is guiding you still. You're safe. You've done enough. Close your eyes and drift gently into sleep. Good night.